The interior remodeling job, you know who I'm going to suggest. Collier & Thompson. Known for their kitchen and bathroom remodels, Collier & Thompson is where you go when you want your remodeling job done right the first time. Collier & Thompson doesn't just do large remodeling jobs. They do plenty of man caves, bars, offices, pretty much anything inside your home. Check out their 10,000 square foot showroom next to Uncle Bill's Pancake House on Manchester. Let them bring your dream remodel to reality. CollierandThompson.com.
There's nothing more important than the look and feel of your home. So now's the time to make your home your retreat. Replace your tired old windows and doors with Marvin replacement products designed to improve comfort and efficiency. Fisher Window and Door Store, a reputable local company, will guide you through the entire replacement process. Their experts will help you make the right choice for your home, and they'll measure, design, and install your new windows and doors.
Hi, I'm Jim Fisher. Since 1941, the Fisher family has provided you with quality American-made building products, including Marvin Windows and Doors. Come visit one of our showrooms in Brentwood or East Alton, and let us help you increase the value of your home.
Bring that distinct sense of quality to every room with Marvin. Visit Fisher Window and Doors' huge newly remodeled showroom in Brentwood or Fisher Lumber in East Alton, Illinois. Quality and comfort starts at Fisher Window and Door. Online at fisherwindow.com.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan. I regret not managing my finances better in my 20s and my 30s, and now I see how crucial it is for achieving major life goals. Mark Hanna with Evergreen Wealth Strategies helps everyday people every day with their finances, discussing cash flow, liquidity, investments, insurance, and tax-efficient strategies. No matter your financial planning stage, Mark will boost your confidence and keep you on track. Learn more at evergreenstl.com.
Equitable Advisors, LLC, member FINRA, a broker-dealer and a SEC registered investment advisor. Equitable Financial Advisors and MI. Evergreen Wealth Strategies is not a registered investment advisor and does not provide tax advice.
Hi, this is Chris Pondoff from Illinois Recovery Center. As someone who battled alcoholism and addiction for 20 plus years, I understand the dark places you can find yourself stuck in. Alcoholism and substance abuse takes a heavy toll on your body and your mind, but you can overcome it. Start your journey to recovery at the Illinois Recovery Center, a rehab treatment center that provides comprehensive and customized rehabilitation addiction treatment. If you or a loved one are struggling with addiction, please know that there is hope. Visit IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com today.
The choice of a lawyer is important and shouldn't be based on an ad.
After a serious car accident, people have two questions. Why me and what now? Well, no one knows why you, but I'm Terry Crouppen, and my law firm Brown & Crouppen sure can help with the what now. Car repairs, medical bills, lost wages, pain and suffering. We're Brown & Crouppen, and we've got all those answers. All you have to do is call 222-2222.
Ready to step your game up to the next level? 5P Academy is the place for any high-level 8 to 18-year-old football player. Based in O'Fallon, Missouri, we have national travel, 7-on-7, and flag football teams with professional coaches. Pre-registration for our 2025 season tryouts in November is open now. Come be a part of the championship-winning 5P family. For more details, email info@5pacademy.com or call Dustin at 314-440-8457.
The world's largest sports book in Las Vegas is now right at your fingertips here in Illinois. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I'm a lifelong sports bettor, and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. We're excited about launching our Circus Sports app in Illinois. It's sports betting the way it should be, with high betting limits, tight money line splits, exceptional customer service, and more. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com. Start betting like a pro from anywhere in Illinois.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here with Seth Goldcamp of Design Air Heating and Cooling, and I have been a long-time Design Air client. What separates you guys from everybody else?
It's becoming more common for companies to just get their foot in the door. They try to come up with different ways to upsell. They try to see how much they can make off of a customer, as opposed to, hey, we're in there to do a service. We're going to do it well. We're going to do it for a fair price.
I don't know how many emails I have received from our listeners who experienced the incredible customer service Design Air Heating and Cooling provides. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling, online at designairservice.com.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day. Rise and shine, St. Louis. It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After on KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. At the Morning After STL on YouTube and on TMASTL.com with Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Iggy Strode, and Action Jackson.
7:07 in St. Louis. You're listening to TMA. It's presented to you by Brown and Crouppen. Welcome to our Munganess St. Louis Acura, Munganess Burkhardt, Alton Toyota 7 o'clock hour. And Doug, we're just going to do what Gabe did last night, which is a Missouri Murray State post-game show for the next 3 hours, break things down, and get your perspective here on the program. And we want phone calls. We're going to take phone calls just like the Colonels did.
Clear them! Clear the line!
Collier and Thompson phone lines are being cleared. 636-9004-TMA. Text into the Schaefer Door Company. Text in box 314-881-TMA5. Save that in your phone. And then email in the morning after at InsideSTL.com for the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the day. Buck Swope. If anybody other than JV golf coach or Kevin Miller wins today, Buck Swope wins the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling emailer of the month. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So we're going to find that out at about 9:51 today. Then Jackson and I go down a hallway. I think they'll be happy. I don't know. I'm not sure. But the Cardinals get a win. Missouri gets a win. Illinois gets a win. I would imagine there's some Kansas fans in that audience. Kansas gets a win. And then you got a 3-day weekend. And we'll all be at the lake and then back here on the show on Tuesday.
What mile marker are you going to be at the lake?
6.
Okay, mile marker 6.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's the best
I'll try
one.
to be on the Graveway arm.
Ooh, I like that. Mm-hmm. Is there really something called the Graveway?
Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh, yes. You betcha. You betcha. Maybe we can meet around the Grand Glaze Bridge.
Nice. That was my stomping ground.
Was it? And so we're all going there right after the show, I understand.
Correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
Stop at Gasper's, get some greasy food there at the truck stop at Kingdom City, then head on down 54.
That's right.
I'm about to get paid in the Escalade.
All right,
there you go. Frank's on board, sounds like it. Get involved in the program. That's it. That's all there is to it. 636-9004-TMA. Text in 314-881-TMA5. And email in for the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the day. It is the Friday presentation of TMA, presented to you by Brown and Crouppen. And then we have a 3-day weekend. I guess it's the last 3-day weekend of 2024. We'll have a 4-day weekend for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And there you go. There's your captain's log for the 4 months.
Well, was Christmas possibly a 3-day weekend?
Winter holiday.
Oh.
We've already talked about that. But I guess I'll look up crowdsourcing information.
Crowdsourcing.
Christmas is right in the... I'm sorry, the audience. Prominent winter holiday. It's right in the middle of the week, Doug.
Okay.
December 25th is a Wednesday.
Okay. All right.
And I think Hubbard has a holiday for the 24th, if memory serves. Do you know what the holidays are? I'm going to crowdsource you.
I don't like to be crowdsourced.
See?
Yeah.
Hurts, doesn't it?
It does. Turnabout is fair play.
Amen. It's my credo. Penny save, penny earn. All right, here you go. Ladies and gentlemen, here is a Hubbard memo from November 8th, 2023. 2024 holidays. Oh, wow. Only Christmas.
That's the only day we get?
Yeah.
All right.
I've never seen you angrier.
Yeah. This is as hot as I'll ever be.
Oh, you're hotter, brother. Especially at the Grafway arm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. All right, there you go. So just a lot of TMA coming your way. No luck getting Chris Long on the show. It's from Driver Rob. I don't know what that means, but...
He threw out the first pitch.
Along with Young Gravy? And was...
I don't think Bobby Eltoff.
Bobby, was that reported? Or did
it was on the Cardinals website.
Really?
Yeah, it was on their promotional website. I don't know what the deal with that is. Maybe she did. I didn't see it. But
See, when I got the release, it was just those two. It was just Long and Gravy.
It looked like Chris Long's throw went all the way back to the screen almost.
So he always tells a story on his podcast that the last time he threw a first pitch in St. Louis, he overshot it and went careening off the backstop and almost hit like some 100-year-old war veteran in the head and took him down. And so I don't know if he maybe tried to sail it again because he immediately threw his arms up in the air after doing it.
It looked like he hadn't played a whole lot of baseball in his life. That is throwing on.
No, he played. His brother Kyle Long was actually like an MLB prospect for.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Huh.
and then was a baseball player, and then was like, "Oh, you're massive," and then played junior college then at Oregon.
All right. I saw a picture, and it wasn't Photoshop because somebody else posted it too. That was at the game. It looked like it came from like this, maybe the Cardinal Club, right around the behind home plate. They were singing the national anthem because both teams were standing there.
Mm-hmm.
There were 12 people in the stands.
Yeah.
It was embarrassing.
Somebody suggested they could have moved the game to Forest Park Field number 7. Did you see the picture in Chicago Wednesday night when the White Sox played?
Yeah, that was.
They got a good ball club.
They didn't have 100. They didn't have 100 people.
Someone took a picture, and you could hand count 63 people in the frame.
Yeah. I don't know how you even. That's clearly not a break-even proposition because you could see in that picture they still had ushers in the upper deck in front of sections with nobody in it.
Yeah.
For the fans there, it's like 12 people in the stands there.
Yeah.
That's at Busch.
Those of you watching on YouTube, you just got a little peek.
I saw someone say that like some pictures are tough because like all the fans would have moved under where there's shade. Like they all moved back off the field level.
Yeah, both of them did.
Both of them.
Yeah. That was,
Never thought I'd see the day. Here it is. I don't know that it could get worse than this, attendance-wise. I don't know what you'd have to do to get worse.
The number, by the way, the official number of people in the ballpark, they went under 11,000 yesterday. So that is a first in a non-pandemic year. What we got here? Barely under 11,000.
And then with the release of Tommy Pham, it almost feels like we're being trolled at this point. It almost feels
So the
like
3 players that were acquired at the deadline, there's 1 left.
Mm-hmm. We gave up Edman and Carlson, and we have
Fetty. Fetty the show for.
I got it with the Carlson and Armstrong. That's a totally different conversation. Even if Tommy Edman goes and kills it for the Dodgers, I get the Fetty move. I get that one. So if that winds up, I know it'll be, if Edman kills it for the Dodgers, it'll be a terrible move. But I get that one. I get it both from the year standpoint, and I get it from they need guys who can pitch in 2025, which kind of speaks to the bigger issue that this organization situation is not just about 2024 at this particular moment. But Doug, you've made it clear that if they can get hot, they can win a baby.
Yeah. We have leapfrogged San Francisco in the wild card race.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if they want quarter.
They're asking none. Cardinals are now just 6 out in the wild card hunt.
The Braves was last night. The Brewers win. So the 10.5 is still probably insurmountable, but 6 back of the Braves in the wild card as the Cardinals begin this 21-game winning streak. We will be talking about this for years to come, as it will overshadow the 2011 club when the Cardinals win their 12th World Championship on November 21st. So it's Cardinals a game back of the Cubs, Cardinals 3 games back of the Mets, 6 games back of the Braves. What if the Cubs snuck in?
Oh, man.
They've won 3 in a row. So
and how do you explain their use of Luke and Baker, who is in the minors for 2 years, has terrific stats in the minors? Don't bring him up. Don't bring him up at all. Don't bring him up. Let him play slightly, just a couple games last year. Then they bring him up this year, and he sits on the bench. Then he hits third. Now he's your number 3 hitter.
Gonna put him to the test. What the Pham move tells you is they've just moved on from 2024. Really, I mean, I know that's not what they will say. And they were talking about how big that win was yesterday, but they're going to get guys playing time.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
No, because there's
not that was something that people needed to be pointed to, but just my observation on it.
Right, because there's no reason that like Victor Scott or some of the younger guys wouldn't be in the lineup every single time over Tommy Pham. Like, what do you gain by having Tommy Pham take a single at bat for the rest of the year?
Nothing. Yeah. I don't know what they gained by acquiring him in the first place.
I agree with you, and that's why they should bring Walker up. Just let him play every day.
We also got to think where they were at the deadline was a lot different than where they are now.
It's just Pham's just not that good.
Yeah, but he was hitting lefties, and that's why you brought him in.
I guess.
Theoretically, if no one picks him up, he could still be on the Cardinals because they sent him to waivers. So maybe he'll rise again.
At the time, he said there wasn't very many teams in the major leagues with 3 outfielders better than him.
Well, he's always been confident.
Yeah, he has.
He'd be good for this industry. Tommy Edman, for the record, Doug, he had 2 hits last night, 8 for 33 with the Dodgers, and OPS of 590. Oh, that's nice. Tribute. Doug needs to hold Greg Amsinger accountable. That's from the life coach.
What happened? I don't know.
He had some audio yesterday on the opening drive that really lit some people
what do we got? Do we have?
Oh, we got it.
All right. I didn't know about this.
Yeah, this got the people going yesterday.
Oh, I just saw it was. How did this guy know that this was sent as bonus audio? Somebody hacked into Jackson's email?
I guess. Oh, boy.
Surprised me.
To change the old password.
Oh.
Here's Greg Amsinger on the opening drive yesterday.
A huge panel of screens in front of you, and you have ballpark cam. And I need to know this, from an emotional perspective, when you see all of these empty seats at Busch Stadium, what are you thinking? How are you reacting?
It kind of makes me mad. Like, I'm not even kidding you. It kind of makes me mad because when I was a kid growing up, when Bernard Gilkey, Ray Langford, and Brian Jordan were young outfielders and the Cardinals were losing a ton, there were at least 30,000 fans in the seats every night. I mean, I was going as many times as possible with my mom and dad. And to watch this product get no support at all, and here they are hovering around 500. I mean, I hate saying it, but I heard what Don Orsillo and Mudcat Grant said during the Padres broadcast the other night when they were in St. Louis, and I kind of agree. This is not the St. Louis that I'm used to seeing. And when I talk to my friends who are quote-unquote loyal Cardinal fans, they're kind of angry. They're like, this isn't the product I want to support. You know, I'm a paying customer. I pay for these guys' salaries, which is the most. When a fan says that to me, it drives me absolutely crazy. Like, now, do you want to really feel what it feels like to pay Paul Goldschmidt's salary? We can do this as a demo on live TV over the course of a year. We'll garnish your wages, and you will pay Paul Goldschmidt's salary so you can actually say that to me. Drives me crazy. Drives me crazy. But anyway. I listen, I try to have patience, and there's so much vitriol right now. I don't get it. We are the best fans in baseball. We are. No. But right now, it's a bad performance. It looks like Cardinal fans are in an 0 for 12 slump right now. They can dig themselves out of it. There's still a month left. But right now, Cardinal fans, you're not hitting above 200, and that is a very sad thing to say.
Yeah, I'm a big Greg fan, but I disagree with that. And I think that what he's talking about speaks to the perception of the Cardinals and the Cardinal organization from the national mindset, even though he's a real South City guy. I mean, Dutchtown, that counts, and has had an incredible career. But he's got the perspective of the national, and locally this has been developing and trending for a while. And there is a great sense of frustration. At its core, I really think it's a lot about messaging, and by messaging, I mean the messenger along with the message that you get, whether it be Mozeliak or Bill DeWitt III, because there isn't really a message coming from Bill DeWitt Jr. at the moment. And I suppose Ali Marmol. I don't think any of those three people either believe or at this moment like or respect. And so when you have those three things going against you from your three public faces, that is your core issue. Now, if you win, it doesn't matter if you're developing Bill Belichick or Nick Saban like sound bites. You go, well, they win. Who cares? On to Cincinnati, on to Cincinnati, on to Cincinnati. Doesn't matter. But when you're not winning and you have that as the face of your franchise, the voice of your franchise, in addition to lack of star power, that's why. And so I don't sit here and go, man, Cardinal fans. I do not. And trust me, I would, because I think there's a lot of patting ourselves on the back about the standing ovations and that crap that goes on. But on this, I respectfully disagree.
Yeah, I do too. And there's other factors at play too. This week in particular, it's been oppressively hot, where people don't want to sit out there in 100-degree weather.
But we got to add the context that they were breaking the lowest attendance records when the weather was incredible a couple weeks ago against the Rays.
Well,
I mean, it's a fact. That's just what it is.
But I know I was offered tickets again yesterday, and the only reason I didn't go because it was so damn hot.
Right.
I'm sure that's holding back a few more people.
Sure, 100%. But overall, this wasn't just about this week. This has been going on, and they've been setting records. And I don't know. I also don't fault people that these guys are covering 30 teams and, to know the ins and outs of a middling team in what is a smaller market, Major League Baseball. I get it. But this has been percolating for a while. The gap between the national perspective of the Cardinals and the Cardinal organization and the local perspective of the Cardinals and the Cardinal organization. And this local perspective has been going on for a while. And it predates the 2022 team that was a really good team. I think the 2022 team will be more remembered for Albert Pujols, and what happened in the final couple months of the season. That was a really good team, and it was a team that made aggressive moves at the trade deadline, too. But this predates it. I really feel like, I think, Doug, we were sitting there with Mozeliak in 2018. It was either 18 or 19, but I think it was 18. And they had just had a, middling 16 and 17. And I don't recall what my question was, but I said, there's a real sense of frustration from the fan base. Now, this is 2018. And he said something along the lines of, are you not entertained? Or have they not been entertained? Which is a reference to Russell Crowe's line in Gladiator. And I know when he said that, and granted, how many people are listening to TMA relative in the market, but for TMA listeners are like, man, this guy, he's just totally detached from the fan base's frustration. So then you take it forward, and the organization's won one playoff series since that took place. So when you combine it with a starless team that's flopping around in an organization that you don't really feel like there's a plan, if people are talking, they don't feel like they're necessarily being told what's really going on. I think all of that combines to be some form of a silent protest, or it's just not worth it to go. Meanwhile, down the street, you have an organization that's only, that's had 2 bad years, similar to the Cardinals, but yet has high equity with the public. It's not like the Blues have been on a great run here. They last went to the playoffs the same year the Cardinals last went to the playoffs.
Yeah. And you have all of that, and you throw in the other factors of inflation hitting people hard, of a city where a lot of, especially older people, don't feel comfortable going anymore, and that whole mix has just been extremely toxic to the franchise.
Yeah, I think Tim's right. Like, it's been boiling for so long that, it's not just because they're unlikely to make the playoffs this year. That's not the sole reason. It's so much. There's so much.
It goes back years.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it doesn't necessarily fix the problem, because I think the Cardinals have some existential problems in the sense that this television thing is a real situation. The downtown thing is a real situation. You made reference to inflation, economic concerns. Those are real problems. Those have nothing to do with Bill DeWitt Jr., Bill DeWitt III, John Mozeliak, or Ali Marmol. But they impact the business and the team. With that established, the perception, if they were to remove Mozeliak from president of baseball operations, and again, I don't think he's fired from the organization. I think they move him to the business side, something to do with Ballpark Village. That's my expectation, because it's not like he's, 70 years old and looking to shut it down. I think he's 53 or 4, and then just replace him. I also think it would be the same with Ali Marmol if they were to replace him and say, hey, this has been unacceptable, and we've done some things that we have looked inward, and this is what we need to do to set a new tone and get us back to what we did from 2000, for the most part, all the way through 2022. Just like that, I think people would be reinvested. But I think there is a justified perception that, you can flop around, and since we don't really make any changes, it's acceptable. And not only do we not make any changes, we extend guys after a last place finish. That doesn't work for people.
Mm-hmm. Even in the early to mid 90s, when the team wasn't very good at all, they still drew better than they're drawing right now in another stadium. They still rarely had crowds anywhere close to what we've seen here the last week or so.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
Which leads you to believe there's just a complete souring on the organization right now.
Yeah.
There isn't a personality out there that gets people excited. Anywhere, on the field or in the front office or in the manager spot, there's nobody that people really want to go see.
Yeah. And certainly, and like you said, it's not just like in a vacuum, would you like to go see the Cardinal game? Sure, but then you take in all the other factors, how you have to do it, not to mention the heat, this, that, or the other, the work day. People have other stuff to do. There's more stuff to do, and people are becoming apathetic, totally apathetic.
Give your thoughts, 314-881-TMA5, Schaefer Door Company, text inbox, and you're also welcome to call in, Collier and Thompson phone line, 636-9004-TMA. Email in for our Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today, the morning after, at InsideSTL.com. They're online at designairservice.com. Doug, I see some rain in the forecast today.
That'd be nice.
At night. 8 p.m. is what I'm seeing.
Better.
Mostly cloudy conditions expected around 4 p.m., and then some storms could roll through. St. Louis Cardinals will be in New York, not going to impact them. And then potential for storms tomorrow as well, but the temperatures cool down. I don't think we're done with the 90s, but nothing in the 90s in the forecast for the next 8 days. Either way, Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling is where you go if you have air conditioning needs. DesignAirService.com with Seth Goldcamp, 4th generation, no upselling. Doug's a client, Iggy's a client, I'm a client. Just go to DesignAirService.com, the official HVAC provider of TMA and the Tim McKernan Show podcast. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling online at DesignAirService.com. Doug, Mark Milton was in yesterday. What a delight. And he has a way for many people in our audience to make some money that they might just be sitting on.
You could have money just waiting to be sent to your door. That's what happened to me. Time's running out, though, to claim your St. Louis City earnings tax refund. If you lived outside the city but had city earnings tax withheld for the tax years 2020 to 2023, you may be eligible for a refund for those teleworking days. STL tax lawyer Mark Milton is filing refund claims for people like you and me. He did it for me, and I've already got my check back. Thank you, Milty. You can do it yourself, or you can have Milton do it for you to file your earnings tax refund claim for you. I didn't think I wanted the hassle, so I let Mark Milton do it, and he'll do it, and then you just get the check. That's how it worked for me. You ought to try it yourself. Now, for his efforts, Milty does need to wet his beak just a little bit. He's charging a flat fee of 15% of your total anticipated refund amount. That seems fair. You just need to visit stltaxlawyer.com to get started, but you need to act now because there is a deadline. The deadline is September 30th. You wait till after then, you're not going to get anything. Remember, if you don't ask for a refund, you're not going to get it. File your refund claim today with STL Tax Lawyer Mark Milton by visiting stltaxlawyer.com. The choice of an attorney is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisement.
It's the Munganess St. Louis Acura, Munganess Burkhardt Alton Toyota, 7 o'clock hour here on TMA. Work with the great Jamie Burkhardt and Peter Munganess. And go shopping at stlouisacura.com or altontoyota.com. And if you'd like to text or call them, here's the number. And it's a secret number for our listeners. 314-252-0029. It's Munganess St. Louis Acura, Munganess Burkhardt Alton Toyota, stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com. And they are the official automotive provider of TMA and the Tim McKernan Show podcast. They are also the presenting sponsor of Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. That's the place I go to get my cars. My family goes to get our cars, and the place you go to get your car serviced, even if you didn't get your car from Munganess. It's stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com. 314-252-0029. That's Munganess St. Louis Acura and Munganess Burkhardt Alton Toyota. Tragic news overnight in the NHL. Columbus Blue Jackets winger Johnny Gaudreau and his brother Matthew were killed Thursday when they were struck by a vehicle while riding bicycles, New Jersey State Police said in a release Friday. Gaudreau was 31, Matthew was 29. According to police, a driver of a Jeep Grand Cherokee hit the Gaudreaus from behind while trying to pass an SUV on the right that had moved over to make way for the two on their bicycles. Police said that both Gaudreaus had suffered fatal injuries. The driver is suspected of being under the influence of alcohol and has been charged with 2 counts of death by auto, police said. They said the investigation is ongoing. The Blue Jackets called the Gaudreaus' deaths an unimaginable tragedy in a statement on social media. Johnny played the game with great joy, which was felt by everyone who saw him on the ice. He brought a genuine love for hockey with him everywhere. He played from Boston College to the Calgary Flames to Team USA to the Blue Jackets. He thrilled fans in a way only Johnny Hockey could. The impact he had on our organization and our sport was profound, but pales in comparison to the indelible impression he made on everyone who knew him.
Tragic story. Tragic. They were in New Jersey for their sister's wedding.
Mm-hmm.
She was supposed to get married today.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. How does a family deal with that?
Oh, brutal.
Yeah.
So sad.
That's dangerous stuff when you're biking like that in traffic. But gosh, a driver that's impaired, because it's horrible, just horrible.
The recovering alcoholic says, sick to my stomach for the Gaudreau family and the Blue Jacket organization. What the hell, man? Absolutely stomach twisting. It's from the recovering alcoholic from Belleville and Webster Groves. Damn, I saw that and I was hoping it was fake. That is crazy. It's from the 636. Yeah, I think Tim Peel tweeted it, and then people were mad at him for tweeting it. He tweeted it last night before the reports were confirmed. So that's how I saw it earlier this morning.
Yeah.
And now it's on ESPN.com.
Yeah, you can imagine a family gathered for a wedding and then turns into a funeral for two of the people. How horrible is that?
Awful. Awful. Sick to my stomach is the right way to describe it.
That is absolutely awful. That's from Harrison's brother, Master. I'm a giant hockey fan, and this has just wrecked me. Didn't watch much CBJ, but this has destroyed me. That's from John Lithgow's Harry Henderson.
Yeah, he was a good player. Good player. And by all accounts, very well liked by everybody.
So Johnny Hockey and his brother passing away, and per the ESPN.com story, and per police, the driver who hit and killed them is suspected of being under the influence of alcohol and has been charged with 2 counts of death by auto, and the investigation is ongoing. Imagine finding out that your loved ones died through Twitter because an officer shared his notes with a medical examiner who then dropped it in a chat where it, of course, ended up on Reddit. Oh, that's how that happened.
Oh, jeez.
So Doug's prison wallet sent in the screenshot from Reddit, and that's how that got out last night.
Well, wouldn't you think that the police would contact the family before they contacted anybody else, though?
One would think, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how all that works, but that's either way. It's
I think that'd probably be their first call.
devastating.
I was stunned, like when I saw that Kobe passed away. It's from Alan Dadeville. And while I feel this awful for the family, can you imagine how brutal this is for the Blue Jackets fans? Jesus, that poor fan base. That's from John Lithgow's Harry Henderson. Yeah, I guess this is a screenshot of the notes.
That I guess the officer took when he arrived.
Deaths. Yeah, Matthew Gaudreau, Johnny Gaudreau.
Yeah, that's horrible. Deaths like that just challenge you to live every day to the fullest because you never know how many days you got.
Spot on, Doug.
Text in 314-881-TMA5, the story on the front page of ESPN.com. You're welcome to call in, Callier and Thompson. Phone line 636-9004-TMA. And email in for our Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the day. This weekend, 3-day weekend, enjoy the TMA Banty Brew, a 16-ounce canned wheat ale with orange and coriander, a cross between an American wheat and Belgian wit. The refreshing ale is made with white wheat, ground coriander, and fresh whole oranges. Head to any Salt and Smoke location to try the TMA Banty Brew. Head to TMASTL.com to see the can and find a participating location to try it for yourself. And while you're on TMASTL.com or the TMA app, you can win tickets to the Ascension Charity Classic. 4 18th Green hospitality tickets to the day of your choice, Friday through Sunday, right here on TMA. Food and beverages are included in this awesome prize package with a perfect view of the closing hole. Enter keyword golf on your TMA mobile app or at TMASTL.com to win. So that is coming up this coming weekend. Coming up at 8:30, the Colonel is going to join us. Usually he would be on Balloon Party on Friday, but because he is traveling this weekend to visit his son.
At the lake?
No. Son,
Big miss.
Yeah, I agree. I kind of agree with you on that, but we'll discuss that with the Colonel along with their uniforms coming up at 8:30, and then we'll have that on Balloon Party, as it's sponsored for Balloon Party on Fridays. But the Colonel will join us at 8:30. Doug, magical game last night against Murray State. Thoughts?
Well, I was excited to see him get going, get off to such a fast start. Not sure about the onside kick there at the beginning, how good an idea that was. It didn't really work for Murray State. They look good. I thought Cook missed some passes that you're going to want him to hit later in the season, some bombs. Guys were open. He overthrew a couple guys. He wasn't as sharp as he'll be later. They look very good, about what you expected. After about halftime, I was kind of ready to go to bed. Like, I'd seen enough. It's a complete mismatch. Two teams that don't belong on the same field at the same time. Meanwhile, you got Lindenwood playing Kansas, getting blown out there. Lindenwood should have played Murray State. Kansas should have played Missouri.
Well, they will next year, September 6th.
That's can't wait till that kind of thing happens. These kind of games just don't do a lot for me.
Yeah.
It's a complete, utter mismatch. It's one thing I don't like about college football. It kind of goes against the competitive spirit of sports to schedule teams you know you can beat. I just don't like that. But Missouri did everything they had to do. They were obviously very convincing and dominant.
Yeah, I don't mind doing it in week one, because if there are some things that are of concern, it's tended to, and then you move on. Unfortunately, it's not like you get real excited for Buffalo next Saturday, but nonetheless, that's the deal. And keep in mind, anytime this topic comes up, this was done by previous administration. So with that established, you get the kinks worked out, and then you go on and gradually... like I said on Balloon Party yesterday, I'm more excited for this weekend, weirdly, and I realize I'm certainly in the minority amongst Missouri fans, to watch Boston College play against Florida State. Two reasons. I want to see what Boston College looks like, because I fear, and maybe it's just like looking for something to be fearful of, that Boston College is going to be better than you assume they're going to be when you see it on the schedule. And then secondly, Florida State is at this point now playing for their season. And if Florida State were to lose that thing or to look sloppy, I mean, they're done, and it's Labor Day. So I'm anxious to see how they respond to losing to Georgia Tech. It also may tell you about Georgia Tech and because Nick Saban, before that game even started, when they were doing College Game Day in Dublin, said that's a team that can be dangerous this year. So I'm looking forward to that on Monday night. I've lived through enough of these, and Missouri fans have lived through enough of these, that I know you're all excited about it at the beginning, and then, like you said, about an hour in, you're going, okay, I guess I'll just start flipping around because, but hey, that's the deal. And I really would rather have it be in week one, just on the off chance that you're not right, not ready, and then all of a sudden you lose a game that, perhaps later in the year. Like if Missouri played Middle Tennessee State last year in the first week of November, I think they beat them by 50, but they were working some crap out early. And that offensive line that became one of the biggest stories of the 2023 season was not protecting Brady Cook like they were protecting Brady Cook by the end of the year. And so from that standpoint, I don't, it's God bless America. I don't have a whole lot one way or the other. Had they looked bad, I would have said, well, remember last year against Middle Tennessee State, and as dominating as they look, okay, that's what's supposed to happen. Be a slightly more difficult test next week, and then you'll have what I think will be closer to a test against Boston College coming up the following week. Then you go back to a Vanderbilt, and then, Doug, it's game on October 5th at College Station. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to that one more than I was looking forward to Missouri Murray State. And by that, I mean Texas A&M and Notre Dame.
I thought the biggest takeaway was the energy for a FCS team on game one. It's hot as hell last night, but the hill is packed on the M. Chairman Kurt was there. He said the energy was outstanding. Looked like Columbia was buzzing for a game that everyone and their mother knew was going to be a blowout. But there was real energy because people were really hungry for a great Mizzou football season again. And I thought that was like the best thing I saw outside of, Luther Burden just being maybe the best player in all of college football.
Oh,
wow. Take.
I don't know.
He's so. But Travis Hunter last night was sick. He might be giving them a run for his money. But
Burden fumbled that little flea flicker play they had.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't know what they call a pass anymore and what they call
I don't know what that play even was. In the world,
all the guys started coming over on the other side.
Yeah.
I looked like kind of a gadget play kind of thing, and maybe they'll never run it again. But
yeah, Drink said post game you won't be seeing that one again.
Yeah,
no, we don't need to.
Anytime you're bringing offensive linemen and putting them outside the numbers, you're doing something wrong.
I don't know if it was tongue in cheek, but he said that Kirby Moore's been wanting to run that for a while, and he hasn't done it, and they've been giving him a lot of S about it, and they finally got him to run it, and didn't go well.
No.
But that was Burden's fault. He fumbled. Who knows what the play would have done?
Sure.
I think they got what they wanted out of the game. get some kinks out. You got, I think, 12, 13 different receivers caught a ball. So a lot of guys got reps and see what you got after your starters, and I think you got what you wanted out of it. There's some things they need to clean up, but
that Murray State coach was trying his best to keep the troops riled up. He looked happy.
He was like playing like he was coaching like he was playing Madden. It was like, well, we're going to onside kick to start, go for it on fourth in our own territory. He's like, we're going to press.
Well, when you know you got no shot, I guess you got to try something.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. I enjoyed that. I didn't realize he was Dan Mullen's grad assistant at Mississippi State, and he was so impressed by his organizational skills that he mentioned him director of player development. I don't know what the hell the term was. I don't know. Either way, he promoted him right away, and so this guy's on a trajectory, and that's just the deal. I think they have 65 new players.
Yeah.
Murray State did.
Yeah.
I mean, it just is.
Picked to finish last in the Missouri Valley.
Whatever.
The coach has got to look at his team and say, "We're going to Missouri. Come and get your whooping."
Yeah. And we'll come and get our check. And that's the game. I would like it if these things went away. This is not exclusive to Missouri. This goes on. This is the deal. I certainly would prefer it if they had a more exciting game from a fan standpoint, but from a coaching standpoint, and from the way that other programs work as well. I get wanting to kind of have your Grapefruit League game or your Cactus League game, and then get into the schedule. The tough thing for Missouri this year is the non-conference schedule is so unappealing across the board. And then you also have the bizarro world UMass thing, and they were talking about that on the broadcast last night. Missouri making the trip to Amherst, which, as it gets closer, more and more people around the country will be like, "What in the hell is that about?"
Especially when that week is like the sickest college football week ever.
And I don't know much about Buffalo, but I know a couple years ago, they were scoring like 45, 50 points every game. So I don't know what they've lost.
Buffalo's a team, when they get clicking, they can put some crooked numbers on the board.
Nice.
Now, when they struggle and when they get a lot of injuries, they're not going to be as powerful. The offense is going to feel it. But when the defense gets revved up and they pin their ears back, put their hands in the dirt, they can get after your signal caller. One thing about Buffalo is they recruit good kids, and they try not to recruit bad kids. And they work them out. They make them get in that weight room, and they practice. They practice almost every day during and before the season.
How do they get them there? Because, if you got Miami is recruiting them, and you got a choice between Miami and Buffalo, I mean, I think Buffalo would be just a dream for a lot of young kids to go to other than Miami.
Oh, absolutely. It's such a beautiful city.
Ask Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack is a product of the Buffalo Bulls. Pretty damn good.
You probably get a lot of kids from upstate New York.
Yeah. I think they're like an FCS big boy. Like, they've had some really good years in the FCS, much like North Dakota State, who almost put it on Colorado last night.
Yeah. Deion barely survived that one. They were down, I think, right before half.
Yeah, they went into halftime down 6.
Jackson, can you get any feel for Noel, the two recruits they got from Appalachian State and Georgia State?
Noel and Marcus Carroll.
Yeah, they look good, but you're
hard to tell
you're going against that
defensive
line.
Right, and linebackers who are just not on the same level. It's hard to
What
tell.
I like is it's two different running styles.
Thunder and Lightning.
Thunder and Lightning, Doug.
Thunder and Lightning.
Ron Dane and Tiki Barber, am I right on that? Right, that was Thunder and Lightning?
I don't know.
The last person I would want to be in front of on a football field is Marcus Carroll. He seems like he runs with some anger.
Will Clark and Rafael Palmeiro were called Thunder and Lightning.
At Mississippi State?
Mm-hmm. I'm sure anytime you get a 1-2 punch, all right, here comes Thunder and Lightning.
Yep. Okay. One guy's a little faster than the other. He's Lightning. Yep. One guy's a little bigger. He's Thunder. Yeah, right. That's how it goes. But yeah, it is. If you're not going to be able to replace Schrader, which is obviously difficult, if you can get two guys who are effective, I think that's great.
It just speaks to offensive line, and they got a hell of an offensive line. I mean, they're expected to have a hell of an offensive line. I'm not
yeah. I mean, Brady had all day
night.
last night, but again, it's going up against a much inferior.
I like that Speedy Johnson. I'm so high on Speedy. He must have had 4 steps on that guy when Cook barely overthrew him.
That's what, like with Cook, like I get people being like slight, I guess. I mean, if you're really concerned, take some stock, but he was overthrowing. And when you have receivers this fast and this good, I'd much rather have you overthrow a guy than underthrow him. 1, because you're giving your guys a chance to make a play, and 2, way less likely to throw a pick if you're overthrowing guys deep than underthrowing guys deep. Even though underthrowing guys deep is a new play you can do where you can just flail afterwards and get a PI.
Well, if you when you're throwing the ball 50 yards in the air, even if it's picked, just like a punt.
Sure, but he returns and stuff. But I prefer him overthrowing guys like Speedy Johnson and Luther. Give them a chance to make their own play.
No, you have no chance to make a play if you overthrow it. If you underthrow it, the receiver could come back and make a play. If you overthrow it, you got no chance.
I'm saying I'd throw it longer than shorter with guys that fast.
Well, all right.
All right, that's enough Tiger talk. Let's talk about the birds, please. That's from the millennial.
Oh, okay.
We were talking about the birds.
No,
and
we
everyone
did. We
bitching.
started the show with that.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait.
People are bitching about talking about the...
Yeah, a little.
Somebody
Ed Holman asking the last time I shaved was a year ago. No, man, it was like I shaved right before I got here.
Yeah, it was Gabe's post-game show.
Pretty strong.
That's what they're talking about?
I saw he posted that 300 people. I'm like, oh, poor Colonel.
One really good.
Oh, do we have some?
Yeah, one.
Doug, take a listen. Here's
voicemail.
Is this somebody representing our program?
No, but he's representing something. Let's just take a listen, Doug.
I'm not hearing that voicemail, so I don't know. We may have had an issue with the phone line, but okay.
Yeah, great game tonight. I watched it with Tony Temple. After the first half, we turned to each other and celebrated with a big hug.
With the what?
Big hug.
I think great things are on the horizon. And Morse was there. That was exciting too. And it's just going to be a great year. Love the show.
I'd appreciate the call.
Colonel.
That was recorded, wasn't he? So
He can't get a break. Can't catch a break with the caller.
He decided to play that one? Because they are recorded, aren't they?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They were working out some kinks in the call system last night.
Buffalo averaged 21 points per game in 2023 and had a record of 3-9. It's from King Poopa.
Okay.
I said the last year or two. Go back to 2022 and let me know.
King Fupa, go back to 2022 and then let us know. You can call in 636-9004-TMA, or you can text in the Schaefer Door Company, text inbox 314-881-TMA5. Sweet Kai from Cape Cod says, I'm dying laughing. So he's
celebrated with a big hug. I think great things are on the horizon. And Mitch Morse was there.
Tony Temple was there too?
Yeah, it was Cotton Bowl 2007, Doug. Was that January 1st, 2008?
I don't know the years. I was at that game, though.
That was Run DMC, right? There in
It was.
McFadden. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I remember I got lost driving in Dallas that day, or the day before or something.
Oh, was you at the strip
drove
clubs?
completely around the Dallas Metroplex. It must have taken me an hour. I missed one turn off. I drive completely around.
I snuck a question into the Colonel last night.
What'd you ask?
I did it for you, Doug.
Who's big for you?
A little better than that.
Oh, okay.
Here, I got some.
Do we have it?
Yeah, here you go.
A lot of these guys got on the field. D'Angelo Hopkins. First of all, I hope that's actually D'Angelo Hopkins. Do you know what uniforms the team is wearing against Buffalo? They will say Mizzou on them. I promise that. There will be some shade of white, black, or gold. I know that, or yellow. I know that. So, yeah, so we're just going to kind of rapid fire through things. I want titles. I don't care who is responsible.
Good uniform question.
Doug, you
I always like that. You know, I thought the uniforms were good last night.
Hey!
I'd prefer the block-in helmet, but you know, everything else was fine.
He was on with Mike Kelly talking about how Drink had been saying you expect more block M, a lot less of the like Sailor Tiger, the script Tigers.
Good.
So it'll be more traditional. Just for
more
you.
block M is what Drinkwitz said?
He said he loves the block M, and they're doing less helmet decals this year.
Good.
Mike Kelly.
Good. But they look good last night.
Yeah, the All Black's a good look.
Yeah.
Fight Tiger.
I didn't hate the Murray State uniforms, to be honest with you.
You didn't hate them?
Nah. I like a white helmet.
I don't like a white helmet that much.
I don't like Illinois' uniforms, sorry.
Yeah, they're kind of blah.
I don't like them. Or Kansas, they're all beak. The Kansas uniform, the logo is all beak. So
Beakers.
It's one big beak.
Whoever just texted in suggesting we switch from Mizzou football talk to Redbird talk as one sick puppy. You need help.
No.
That's from Scissor Me Timbers. Boys, question, which game this year would be the best to have a swingers night? Thanks. That's from the Swing Haven board member. I guess Oklahoma, don't you think?
No, I'm saying Buffalo.
I'm thinking
because Buffalo's right next to Niagara Falls, and if the swinging goes well, you can go and honeymoon in Niagara Falls.
But the game's in Columbia, Brad.
Well, yeah, you'll make a trip to Niagara Falls.
Oh, there you go. Swing Haven board member, it's the Buffalo game.
I would think an away game where you could like host the people at your home, and then you're already on the doorstep of interplay.
So you're hosting them to watch on TV?
Yeah, like the South Carolina game, Like you can get the Mayor's Cup and get yourself a little tasting.
Isn't there more swinging going on the road, like at the stadiums? These
like at tailgates.
They're swingers' havens.
Like, are you asking which SEC stadium is the most promiscuous?
Good question.
Yeah.
I mean, would you assume it's the Grove?
I was going to say the Grove. Maybe Roll Tide in certain areas.
Think so. Is that right?
Maybe
really?
Roll Tide.
God, watch
in
this.
certain areas.
Really?
And that's based on what? Just pulling it right out of thin air?
Yeah. Welcome to Sports Talk Radio, brother.
Okay.
Well, you're a swinger. You should know that. Swing Haven board member. We asking 5 guys that don't swing, and a swinger's asking us, where's a good place to swing? Wouldn't you know that?
Biggie sideways with him. You know that.
Okay.
MD 2020 says the UMass game would be good. Yeah, up in Amherst.
It's true. Nothing else.
With the foliage. Everybody's aroused by the foliage.
So Tiger fans are going to travel there? I
Yep.
know, Jackson, you're going, right?
Sweet Kai and
Are you
him.
going there to swing specifically?
I did entertain the idea of going up for the
For the
UMass
foliage?
game. Yeah, for my first road college football game. My first college football game, not at Furrow Field, being at UMass.
But now you're not going?
I don't really want to. It seems like a whole deal.
Yeah, I'm sure it would be.
Plus, there's like really good other college football games on that day that I'd rather watch, like Ohio State, Oregon.
Oh.
So I can flip back and forth.
Okay.
Pale, your Illini sweater take is so cold. I hope the ghost of Dick Butkus mounts you and gapes you hard. Not today, boy. That's from the recovering alcoholic from Belleville in Webster Grove.
I don't like the navy top orange pants. That's no good.
It's unique.
I think I like the block eye. I like the classic Illinois eye, and they do script logo really well. But wear white pants or navy.
Swing Haven board member and myself need to have a conclave on this swinging sitch. Great minds think alike. That's from Mr. Smith. So Mr. Smith is working with the Swing Haven board member on determining which home game is optimal, or this Amherst foliage trip.
He should probably start a Mizzou fans chapter of swingers.
Yeah.
Smitty.
Mr. Smith?
Like the Mizzou quarterback club, but for swingers.
You want to get that through? Maybe the Plowhawks burner can get that going on Power Mizzou today. See what the Colonel thinks.
Starting up a swingers club. DM if interested. Picks, please.
Who knows? That might become a big trend around college football.
Kai, you weren't laughing last night when the nurse said, get on all fours and face the TV. I want to multitask. That's from the Warson Woods Wacko, and he's not done with sweet Kai.
No.
UMass trip, boys. We'll get so naughty. Foliage, football, and chowder. Body shots on Doug. That's Flocky the Smurf. So this UMass trip is starting to pick up some...
There'll be thousands, tens of thousands of Mizzou fans make that trek.
Nice.
Whether they swing or not.
Mr. Smith ain't swinging with anybody. That's from the Loomster. Loomster and Mr. Smith are sideways. Who knew? Were you aware of that one, Iggy?
Well, at least Mr. Smith's a swinger. I don't know much about the Swing Haven board member yet. Got to have a significant other.
And you don't believe he does?
I've yet to see her, meet her.
Yeah. Well, we did meet Mrs. Smith.
We did.
Mm-hmm. And we met the Joneses.
That's right, the Joneses.
Swingers, all of them.
That's right.
I don't think any. I think that's the only 2 we have.
Mm-hmm.
Am I missing
What
somebody?
about Doug's Glue Guzzler?
They swingers?
I thought so. Am I right on that? I'm losing track, Doug.
I think they just...
He looks like John Rahm.
Is it swinging if they just invite another woman into the bedroom with them?
Oh, that's what you dream of.
Yeah, still swinging.
Is that swinging?
Yeah, it's a lifestyle. They're having a threesome.
But wouldn't the swinging mean like that he's leaving his wife to sleep with another person's wife and vice versa? I feel like just having another woman in the bedroom isn't necessarily swinging.
Yeah, if you're both, maybe that's what they're into. Some swinging like other couples, some swinging just like another dude in the room, some swingers like another girl in the room.
Okay, so
what did you like when you were in your prime?
I just went with whatever.
Sporting.
But it was always just a married couple.
Oh.
I think that's an excellent idea, fellas. I will get my pineapple contact in Como and get this done. Loomster, your act is tired. go back to riding your wife's coattails. Mr. Smith, boy, we got the Worsonwoods Wacko and Sweet Sweet Kai, and we got Mr. Smith and the Loomster. New wars. Who knew?
Yeah, it's exciting.
No, it is exciting.
Yeah, can't we all just get along?
Nice.
But when Smitty said it was a good idea, is he talking about starting a Mizzou Quarterback Club Swingers edition?
Yeah.
Is that what's going on now?
I think he's going to be the one taking care of that.
Okay.
Maybe call into Gabe's postgame next week. Ask that question.
Colonel will have another late night post game. Is the Buffalo game at 6 or 6:45?
I thought 6:45.
Is it 6 or 6:45?
I don't know. I haven't checked.
Pretty sure we're going to go. Jackson, you're going, and you got a table at my house with bottle service?
It's 6 p.m.
At 6 p.m.?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
No bottles. No bottle service, unfortunately. But you never know. You know, if maybe they beat them to the tune of 55 points, maybe I would. Maybe I'd consider.
What do you suppose it would cost to order a round of beer at bottle service?
Like how much for bottle service?
Yeah, if you got 6 people sitting around your table and you order bottle service. Or can you not get beer? It's a bad form to get beer.
With bottle service,
you get a bottle of booze.
You buy the bottle, but you're actually buying the booth, like the little section.
The real estate.
So you can't buy one without the other. And when I was in college, we would get like 12 to 15 people and all chip in like $20 and that would cover it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's inexpensive bottle service.
Yeah, it was like 400 or something. But that would also like get you didn't have to pay cover with that either. So it was really like $15. It was great. We'd do it all the time.
Well, you were high rollers, weren't you?
Yeah, Ball So Hard University.
Paying $20 and they bring you free beer with it and then a bottle.
Free beer with it?
Like a 12-pack. It wouldn't be like unlimited beer, but they would bring like 12 beers and the bottle. Usually warm Sky vodka.
Oh, God.
And that would go down real nice.
And the women loved it.
I guess. I don't know. It's kind of a free-for-all.
Doug, I guess that's what we'll do after the Buffalo game next week. That'll be fun for us.
20 years old. Biggest concern is like an econ quiz coming up next week. It's just kind of whatever.
Yeah.
One of the worst things that could happen to me is watching my wife have sex with another guy. Wow. Stephen Wildwood with a big reveal. But even worse would be a listener or member of the show. I would try to hit the pool from the balcony. Chairman Stephen Wildwood, Doug.
He's going to dive off his balcony into the pool.
I guess. I don't know. I just read what's in the teleprompter. Mr. Smith says, yes, I will be the first president of the Swingers for Tigers. So he's in.
Okay.
I'm Team Loomster. That's from the 636. The listeners always choose sides.
Yes, it's factions.
Factions.
Well, he was right, though. I mean, he basically won that contest because of his wife.
The Loomster did.
Yeah. Wasn't that the dating game?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, she was putting ideas in Lisa Ann's ear before the thing even started.
That's good politics.
About hooking up?
Well, about certain things to make her want to vote for them.
Cryptic.
Well, I mean, I didn't hear the questions, but supposedly she was, Lisa Ann, we watch your videos all the time, and we really enjoy you, and I think we'd have fun. So she was kind of putting ideas in Lisa Ann's head before they even started.
Planting the seed.
That's fine. That's the way to play the game.
Yeah.
And then she took over.
Lisa Ann did, or the Loomster?
Loomster's wife.
Loomster's wife, Doug.
Loomster didn't really do much during that contest.
So you're kind of down on the Loomster?
No. I like them both.
Okay.
Him and his wife.
How large a chapter do you think of Swingers Mr. Smith can put together?
You have to ask him. I don't know his connections in Columbia.
The Loomsters issued a statement. A non-swinger being president of a swingers club. Lols. That's from the Loomster.
Well, Mr. Smith is a swinger.
And he's the president.
Yep.
Are people like doubting their swinger accolades?
I mean, they were in studio. I do remember that.
Yeah. Oh,
maybe he's left the industry. I don't know. Loomster says, I feel like I'm being slandered right now. This never happened. So, Iggy, you might be dealing with some litigation.
Okay.
I was standing there when they were talking, so.
Now, Loomster, the action's back on you. Callier and Thompson phone lines are available for you to defend yourself against what you feel is slanderous commentary here.
Sue me.
Wow.
Have fun getting anything.
Do you have counsel?
Yeah, Brown and Crouppen.
Well, they're not defense attorneys.
Well, they'll scare him.
Will they?
There's no such word as supposedly. That's from Cuckleberry Finn.
You know what I meant?
That's that.
I mean, it's to the point where I'm too old to learn, so.
You're not too old to learn.
If that's what I say, that's what I'm going to say.
What complaint?
Yeah, there you go. Vocabulary.
Chairman, you did an interview with the Warson Woods Wacko's daughter last night?
Yeah, I did a little journalism last night.
How did this take place?
Just got in contact with her and met up with her at a tailgate.
Oh.
Doug.
Okay, and you had a recording device with you?
She's a woman in love, you know.
Oh, I wasn't pursuing anything.
Okay, all right.
Strictly journalism.
Got it. All right.
Record it with your phone?
Correct.
Okay, and we're going to hear it now.
Presently.
All right.
Okay.
I'm here with the Warson Woods Wacko's daughter. Have you ever listened to TMA before?
Yeah, I used to listen to it with my dad, so I've heard Iggy talk. He sounds like a moron half the time,
Who's your favorite personality on the show?
Definitely Tim. I love Tim.
We all love Tim. I'm going to ask you some questions. Who invented fire?
Is that a joke?
Who invented fire?
Ancient human beings, not the humans that you would see every day on the street. Ancient people.
What year were you born, by the way?
2004.
True or false? The urethra is part of your ass.
False.
False?
False.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, the urethra? Yeah. That's a part of your bladder system. What?
Mr. Licks, where do you think he maybe went to college?
Probably Ole Miss.
What would you say to somebody that said that Warson Woods is like the Nordstrom Rack of St. Louis municipalities, that its people give off like a fake aura of class, and that its residents seem like the type of people that vacation on a cruise line?
They should probably go themselves. They're morons.
Do you have any messages for Iggy or for Gluten-Free Perk or for Little Beer Cats before this IQ challenge?
Iggy, I'm sorry I have to embarrass you. That's all I've got to say.
Oh, Chairman Kurt going to the streets of Columbia for the work. Tip of the cap, Chairman. Little initiative, Doug. That's what we call that in the industry.
He wore out some shoe leather.
Yeah.
Vacation on a cruise line?
They should probably go themselves.
Oh, gosh.
She embarrassed herself with that interview.
Oh, I don't know. I think she came off very strong.
Yeah. I'm sure we were all talking, all the listeners were saying that Lisa went to Mississippi. It's amazing how she just came up with that answer.
She seemed to know what a urethra was. Or is.
Wedding Tackle thinks you staged the interview.
Yeah.
You think so too, Iggy?
That's fine.
Chairman.
I did not stage anything.
She just said Mississippi out of the blue, Ole Miss out of the blue.
She said she listens to the show.
When she was with her dad in the car.
That's still listening.
Well, that means she listened yesterday?
Oh, I don't
Because
know
we were
how many
talking about him
times.
going to Ole Miss yesterday.
Well, they might, since she called in. They might.
I don't think she was with her dad in the car in Columbia yesterday.
So if you were to stage it, that means either you used the shears or you told her what to say before you began recording.
I did not tell her any answers to give. I did not feed her any information.
I don't think it's crazy because if her dad called in yesterday, she might have listened to hear what her dad said and probably picked up on Mr. Licks going to Ole Miss, which we're still not sure about, but feeling more confident by the day.
Well, he's also threatened litigation regarding the listeners or us saying that he may have gone to Ole Miss.
What is this, fairy tale court where there's going to be the defendant's Mr. Licks? If you're not using your real name, there's no litigation.
I don't
They should probably go themselves.
Warson Woods Wacko said she hadn't listened for a while. There's no way she came up with Ole Miss. That's Wedding Tackle, and he's adamant that this was choreographed. I mean, Chairman, that's calling your integrity into question.
I think my pattern of past practice would show that I would never do that.
How about that, Doug?
I don't believe this to be fake news or AI generated. I think it was a legitimate man-on-the-scenes interview.
Where'd you do this, at a tailgate?
Mm-hmm. Lot L.
Tip of the cap for putting it together.
Yeah.
So when is the IQ test?
I'm not sure. I think we are going to have to go the Zoom route.
That's the best way.
StreamYard.
Say because Little Beer Cats is busy?
I think he's got all the time in the world for us.
Had you ever met her before?
I'm sorry?
Had you ever met her before?
I had not.
How did she know who you were or who she was?
Her father put us in contact, put us in a text thread. I asked if I could come talk to her. We just stayed in contact. I went and found her. I didn't know what she looked like, so I said, "Hey, I'm in lot L. You got like some defining characteristic I could find you?" She's like, "I'm the one in the black shirt with cowboy boots." I'm like, "This could take a minute."
Yeah, that probably doesn't narrow
That's
it
like
down.
everybody.
No, it does not narrow it down.
Worsen Woods Wacko has issued a statement. OMG, I had not heard any of this, and it's a well-known fact that losers who could not attend Mizzou go to Ole Miss. That's from Worsen Woods Wacko.
I love my alma mater, but
Jackson's vocalizing what I was internalizing.
it's like there's not really like a real, oh boy, I hope I get into Mizzou, and if not, I'll go to Ole Miss. Like if you're getting into one, you're getting into both.
Well, you're going to take it on Tiger Boy today.
I mean, like I said, I love my alma mater. Getting into a school does not mean you're just automatically going to get through and easy. I've seen plenty of people apply themselves with zero effort and fail out of Mizzou, but if you can just apply yourself just a little bit, you can not only get in, but thrive.
Wedding Tackle now says, okay, Orson was wacko for sure, Feder information. Dumb, dumb, dumb. Wedding Tackle is not happy.
Come on, Tackle.
I said it was staged. I didn't say KG did it. Dad probably did.
I don't know.
The Ole Miss, one of our Ole Miss listeners, Hottie Toddy, says Warson's wacko is an idiot.
Oh.
Mr. Smith is now getting angry at the Loomster, and he has asked that I read this. Loomster is a lowlife. He's taking a low shot at the pending dissolution of my marriage. Typical behavior from a person of his caliber, and I'll leave it at that. Please read, Tim. I'm not ashamed of what's transpired. I don't know what the hell we're talking about now.
It seems like we're like settling like long scores, and this is like maybe outside of us.
No, I think what he's saying is that Loomster is saying he's no longer a swinger because he's getting divorced, and I knew he was getting divorced, but it's not my position to say anything. But he just did, so. Mr. Smith just said it, so. But you can still be a swinger. You're getting divorced, he's finding another girl he can swing with.
There you go.
Oh, I guess.
Virgin, you are not anything Mizzou brags about. Look where you ended up, dude. That's from the Worsen Woods Wacko.
It's interesting because my old professor really wants me to come back to Columbia and speak to some of his students.
Wow.
Really?
What this? Lottie frickin' da, Doug.
Yeah.
If you sit in this board-op chair, you get asked back to your alma mater. It didn't happen with Plowhawk?
Yeah, Plowsy did too.
Yeah. Didn't Roderick? I don't know if Roderick
like a
ever
Hall of
ran.
Famer.
He's in the Western Illinois HOF.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Prod Joe, probably Georgia State, you'd have to
I
assume.
would think so.
And I spoke, but I wasn't a board up.
You spoke where?
I went to Brentwood and St. Mary Magdalene. I don't know why the 8th graders wanted to hear about getting into radio, but
Oh, my.
they asked me to come back to St. Mary Magdalene. These people don't even know who I am.
I know several people who couldn't get into Mizzou, so they went to Ole Miss. It's a real thing. That's from the Reluctant Cuck.
Well,
surprises me.
There are certainly a lot of odd people who listen to the show. That's from Kwame Voyukas IV.
True. I would think Mizzou's a little harder to get into than Mississippi.
I should also preface that I was applying to Mizzou in the year was 2016, the year after 2015, when a freshman enrollment took a nosedive. So getting into Mizzou was not a difficult thing at that time.
It wouldn't be easy to figure out. Just don't both schools have a grade point average you have to maintain to get in?
Not necessarily GPA. It's usually more ACT.
Yeah.
Worsen Woods Wacko, pipe down dork. The coolest thing about you is that you have the money to buy your daughter a bid. Total hater. Sweet, sweet Kai. Boy, this sweet, sweet Kai.
Laying down big alligators.
Man, we got... There's too much warfare here. We're on the threshold of a 3-day weekend, Doug. Everybody's getting laid.
know. And Kai stopped mowing some of the grass in order to text that in.
That's right.
I know it was a long segment. Every day I put like a best of the day clip in there, but I had to put the call in there yesterday. Those two going back and forth. It was a long
Sweet,
one,
sweet
but-
Kai and Worsen Woods Wacko?
Yeah. It was a long one, but
It was a real triumph in radio production, getting them both on at the same time. Felt pretty good about myself.
Hadn't been done before, as far as we know.
Not to my knowledge.
My offspring was fed nothing by me. I was here working while she, my wife, and other daughter live it up on my dime. Pretty simple. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Hats off to KG in O-Town. That is from the Worsen Woods Wacko. So therefore, if KG didn't use the shears, and if he didn't feed her answers, and if the Orson Woods wacko didn't feed her answers, then the conclusion is that those were truthful answers.
Yep.
Or my conclusion would be that somebody's lying.
Oh, my.
I thought it was a nice little interview.
There's nothing wrong with the interview, except for the fact that I'm a moron.
Oh.
I mean, it's quite obvious at this point someone is being lied to.
She doesn't listen to enough of the show to think I'm a moron, so I'm sure somebody said just call Iggy a moron.
It wasn't on the recording, but she did say her and her Tridelt sisters do listen quite a bit.
Hell yeah. God,
do that, Doug.
Well, then she lied to you when she said, haven't listened in a while. I used to listen in the car with my dad. Why wouldn't she say me and my Tridelt sisters listen quite often?
I just don't think she wanted to turn everybody on.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's it. Okay.
Appreciate Lenny tossing me some money. I'm going to keep the shirt on, but appreciate that.
That's what he has to deal with. He just wants to cover a darn football team.
He just wants to retire.
Somebody offered him money to take his shirt off.
I saw last night, he tweeted right at the end of the first half, he goes, the last 3.5 minutes of this half have unofficially taken 3.5 hours. Even the guy, not Dan Mullen, it was nice to see return to Columbia last night on the broadcast, but the play-by-play guy was really upset. He's like, well, it's 38-0. We're going to make sure we're going to get this fumble call correct by the ref running 80 yards down the field. He made a good point. He's like, why do you not have 2 replay monitors on each side so this poor ref doesn't have to sprint down to the other end?
Seems reasonable.
Yeah. But yeah, you could tell that they were telling like old stories with like 12 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Yeah.
Like that's a tough gig. Doing a 4-hour college football game where it's 28-0 before sundown.
Mizzou and Ole Miss are not good schools. Might as well have gone to Merrimack and hung out with the River de Pere quarry people. Some glove blogger Tom Traven, the River de Pere quarry people.
They take rocks out of the River de Pere area and grind them up.
Doug and I went to Merrimack.
I sure did.
And did you live in a quarry?
I didn't. I never did. I didn't even see many rocks.
Neither did I. I spent most of my time in the student union. But
they're rebuilding Merrimack now. Got a huge,
boy, are they ever?
Huge construction project going, make it more technologically advanced.
All right. So what are our conclusion? KG and O-Town did not feed the information. Do you agree with that, Iggy, or not?
Yeah, I don't think KG did, but at some.
Do you think he used the shears?
Well, he might have.
No,
because I don't know how long the interview
was. Was that the raw interview?
No, I edited it down to cut out some dead time and get it a little more consumable.
Okay.
But there's nothing hit the floor that would be salacious or anything. She did call Doug a dilf. I corrected her, said he's a gilf.
Oh,
it's true.
Yeah, I would have liked to have heard that.
I cut it out. That's my fault.
Why'd you cut that out?
She also wasn't a big fan of my pearl necklace.
Oh, why not?
Yeah, how did that play with the Tridelts?
Poorly.
Yeah.
She said it was baby girl, but then I said, so are you pro or anti? She says anti. Men shouldn't wear that. So now I'm on Iggy's side in this IQ test.
Oh. Are you still wearing the pearl necklace?
Yeah, it's on right now.
Okay.
It's a long night, Doug. I'm lucky I'm wearing different clothes.
Oh,
that's hot.
You slept how much? You got home around 1:30, you said?
Yeah. You got home at 1:30?
No, I left after the 3rd, so I got home a little after midnight, but I did do some audio editing, so I think I got to bed around 2.
Oh, gosh. What an effort.
Amen. Tip of the cap.
How fast do you drive home that late?
Yeah, was traffic bad going back?
Well, I have a great insurance agent in James Carlson.
I weaved in a sponsor.
And he got me set up with the safe driver discount, so I monitor my speed closely so I can save every penny. So did the speed limit, listened to Gabe on the way home. Wasn't too bad.
Yeah. CarltonInsurance.net is where you can get that. That's James Carlton, Doug.
And you get that discount if you don't get any tickets?
It monitors your speed. It monitors your sudden acceleration and sudden braking.
Oh, they actually know how fast? The insurance company knows how fast you're driving?
Oh, yeah. Distracted driving. So if I'm on my phone while I'm driving, it picks that up.
Oh, God bless.
And legitimately, I've been with James for a handful of months now, and he texted me a couple weeks ago and showed me just how much I had saved, and it's a tangible saving from driving safe.
Really?
What's
so
that?
There's some kind of device that's hooked into your car?
Yeah, I have a little device in there. It's connected via Bluetooth to my phone, and it's done wonders because I was bad about the distracted driving thing, but now I make a conscious effort to set it down, and yeah. James is great.
I think if the truth were known, Lots of people are distracted driving.
Yeah, I would say probably.
When your phone rings or you get a text, it's hard not to pick it up and see who it is.
I have auto do not disturb on when I plug my phone into CarPlay so that I can't get texts or calls while I'm driving.
Oh, that's good.
I got a few friends who do that. A call or even text. It'll say, "I'm driving right now. Call me later, or I'll call you when I get to my destination."
Colonel's got that, as a matter of fact, and he's going to join us coming up in about 12 minutes, so you can watch. I wonder if we'd be able to connect the Colonel like we did with Lisa Ann. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
And have him be on the YouTube broadcast?
Definitely.
Topless?
Ideally. That'd be a good idea. Although he might be on the phone, because I think he's taking a train.
I think this week probably on the phone, but we could start doing that.
yeah,
Certainly probably on both.
You can text in your questions for the Colonel to the Schaefer Door Company text inbox. Schaefer is spelled SCHAEFER door.com. Now they're hiring. If you are looking for a career change, Jason Gossrow is a great guy, runs the business. You can call or text a number they set up specific for TMA listeners. The number is the following, 636-782-3608. That's going to get you the quickest response time if your garage door breaks. They set up service time on Monday mornings this coming week, Tuesday morning after the holiday, to fix the doors that break over the weekend, those garage door springs. Also, if you operate a business, they service commercial doors as well. So if you run a business or warehouse with big, tall doors, Schaefer is experienced in these types of jobs. Go to schaeferdoor.com, SCHAEFER door.com, or call or text 636-782-3608. Schaefer Door is a Clopay Master Authorized Dealer and the sponsor of the text inbox here on TMA. Incredibly sad news this week with the passing of a name synonymous with St. Louis, and that is Ted Drewes, 96 years old, passing away on, I believe, Wednesday. And I know many people will be paying homage to the great Ted Drewes and his family by visiting Ted Drewes this holiday weekend. Head to Ted Drewes on Chippewa, and it will be a wonderful experience. As a gentleman who built a business that people come from around the country when they visit St. Louis to patronize, it's Ted Drewes. 95 years and 4 generations of family serving St. Louisans at famous frozen custard. Did you know that his dad was a great tennis player?
I didn't.
And he set up the business of Ted Drewes Frozen Custard so he could play tennis.
Oh, wow.
But he didn't really want to, accelerate it. And I was reading, about Ted Drewes when he passed, that his dad, for him it was kind of a side project, but for Ted, it became something that he saw an opportunity to grow, and that's what he did. 95 years, 4 generations of family serving St. Louisans at famous frozen custard. Ted Drewes remains a family-owned and operated business founded on the motto is, our business is service. They are committed to providing exceptional service and a warm, welcoming atmosphere to customers of all generations and all ages. Here's the thing. You go there this weekend, you're going to see a long line. I can promise you that, but it will fly, and that's because of the caliber of service that the Ted Drewes family provides. Whether it's a City Red, Cardinal Sin, Blue Note, Tiramisu, the all shook up, the Twisted Caramel, Ted Drewes Frozen Custard, you can make your own as well. It really is, good guys and gals. Celebrate the legacy of the great Ted Drewes this weekend. Ted Drewes on Chippewa open. The grand location is closed for the season. Ted Drewes, and then go get some Ted Drewes merchandise in the gift shop right across the parking lot on the same side of the street on Chippewa, just to the east of Ted Drewes Frozen Custard stand. All right, the Colonel is going to join us coming up at 8:30, and you can send your 2-part questions in for him. Send your emails in for the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the day, the morning after at InsideSTL.com. The Fisher Window and Door Store comes 8 o'clock hour coming your way next as we close out the Munganess St. Louis Acura, Munganess Burkhardt, Alton Toyota 7 o'clock hour. This is TMA, presented to you by Brown & Crouppen.
KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA all day.
If you want a first-class, top-of-the-line, high-quality interior remodeling job, you know who I'm going to suggest. Collier & Thompson. Known for their kitchen and bathroom remodels, Collier & Thompson is where you go when you want your remodeling job done right the first time. Collier & Thompson doesn't just do large remodeling jobs. They do plenty of man caves, bars, offices, pretty much anything inside your home. Check out their 10,000-square-foot showroom next to Uncle Bill's Pancake House on Manchester. Let them bring your dream remodel to reality. CollierandThompson.com.
Hustle and Heart Sports Performance is the one-stop shop for St. Louis area football-specific and athletic training located in O'Fallon, Missouri. Hustle and Heart utilizes the top trainers in St. Louis, led by its owner, 8-year NFL vet Pierre Desir. We have a 40-yard turf field, college-style weight room, red light sauna, and a state-of-the-art recovery room to service all of your athletes' needs. For more info, check out hustleandheartsportsperformance.com or call Dustin at 314-440-8457.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan. I regret not managing my finances better in my 20s and my 30s, and now I see how crucial it is for achieving major life goals. Mark Hanna with Evergreen Wealth Strategies helps everyday people every day with their finances, discussing cash flow, liquidity, investments, insurance, and tax-efficient strategies. No matter your financial planning stage, Mark will boost your confidence and keep you on track. Learn more at evergreenstl.com.
Equitable Advisors, LLC, member FINRA, a broker-dealer and a SEC registered investment advisor. Equitable Financial Advisors and MI. Evergreen Wealth Strategies is not a registered investment advisor and does not provide tax advice.
This is Eric Conley, the founder of Illinois Recovery Center. At Illinois Recovery Center, our substance abuse treatment goes beyond mere recovery. It's about reclaiming lives filled with purpose, joy, and connection. Our dedicated facility is more than just a place of healing. It's a beacon of hope for individuals seeking to reintegrate into society and thrive in their work, family, and community roles. Our team is ready to help. If you or someone you know wants more information about the Illinois Recovery Center, please visit IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com.
This is the one.
Honey, I think you're right. This house has everything we've ever dreamed of. A huge master bedroom, an open kitchen, and a backyard with a fire pit and built-in grill.
I can't believe it. Finally, our dream home. It's absolutely perfect for us.
We owe our realtor big time.
No, you don't. We're just doing our job. At the Jeff Lotman Group, helping you find your dream home is our top priority. Bringing people and properties together. Call us at 314-406-8911 or visit us online at jefflotman.com.
Whether it's pro or college, the app to bet football is Circus Sports Illinois. Circus Sports, it's sports betting the way it should be. Circus Sports Illinois has high betting limits, low holds, and exceptional customer service. Bet on all your favorite teams in every game this season. Spreads, props, futures, or in-game, Circus Sports has it. Fund and bet like a pro from anywhere, anytime in Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Want to take on some legends of TMA?
Sound the same to someone who gives a damn about the best fans in baseball. Tired of it.
The show's so great. Will there be a little speaker system out behind the dumpster so in case you're servicing me, I'll be able to hear my name?
Then nominate yourself to be this month's TMA Listener of the Month. And if you win, you'll get recognition and other stuff. Sometimes all you have to do to win the prize is be a female.
All it takes is one fake girl to just throw this show completely off course.
Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information at TMASTL.com. The TMA Listener of the Month Club, quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to a brighter side of tequila with Milagro. Find out more at TMASTL.com. Man, TMA likes to talk about golf.
The guy had barely put the flag back in and I hit my wedge.
Incessant golf chatter.
And of course, the green is protected by bunkers.
Golf, 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 golf.
We can 1-2 putt in 2 seconds and we can move on.
And now there's more reasons for TMA to talk about golf. The PGA Tour champions are back in town at the Ascension Charity Classic, September 3rd through September 8th at Norwood Hills Country Club. It's a must-see event and it all benefits local charities. And you could win 4 18th green hospitality tickets to the day of your choice. Friday through Sunday right here on TMA. Food and beverages are included with a perfect view of the closing hole. Enter keyword golf on your TMA mobile app or at TMASTL.com to win. And if you don't win, tickets start at just $20. And kids, military, veterans, and first responders get in free. Find out more at TMASTL.com.
Just pick it up or putt. It's stupid.
Another blues season is coming. Get ready for the second annual Blues and Brews event, Friday, September 20th at the Anheuser-Busch Brewery. Get fired up for another blues season at this outdoor street party featuring live music from country music star Matt Stell.
I've been from Savannah to Long Beach.
And St. Louis's own Charles Glenn Group, plus appearances by blues players and alumni, food trucks, giveaways, and more. Tickets are just $20 and on sale now. Blues and Brews, presented by Bud Light, 92.3 WIL and 101 ESPN. Find out more at TMASTL.com. The Tim McKernan Show podcast, featuring long-form interviews with people from the world of sports, politics, and entertainment.
And our guest today, Bill McClellan. Thanks so much for coming in.
Hey, my pleasure, Tim.
What's up, Caden?
Hi, how are you?
Joe Buck, our guest today.
Man, it's like I haven't seen you in years.
More than 500 episodes and counting, and it's available wherever you get your podcasts, including the TMA STL app. Get the app now at TMASTL.com.
Here's Action Jackson with 3 more ways to get TMA content.
Get the TMA mobile app and enable notifications so you don't miss a thing. See our content on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And stream us on the TMA mobile app and at TMASTL.com.
Thanks, Jackson. It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After on 105.7 FM HD2. It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After.
On KPNT HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis.
A song called Missouri, which I
Oh, what was it like last night at Faroe Field when they played this and the Tigers charged onto the field? I bet Murray State knew it was over.
I missed the opening seconds. Is this what they ran onto the field?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've done this going back to the Warren Powers years.
You see the smoke that they ran out on the field with?
No, I missed
White
it.
smoke.
Oh, yeah. With this plane. Gosh. Goosebumps.
I missed the halftime. What was the drone everybody was talking about?
They did a drone
show
of the columns.
Sick.
A bunch of drones that made it into the shape of the columns.
Cool.
Well, now, don't poo-poo it.
I didn't see it, so
There were other shapes as well. I saw a football player and something else.
Is that right?
They had a little gerbil? They had a little gerbil running across the sky?
No gerbils.
That was a miss.
Yeah, I agree. Colonel texted me and said he needs 840 now. He's going to Chi-Town stand-up on a train.
Oh, is he really?
Visit his son. Visit his boy.
I've always wanted to do that. Take
cool.
a long train trip. I haven't done that.
It's about the same time as driving. Not much more.
It's a little longer.
It's a little, but not
a lot more relaxing.
Depending on where you come, I think one of the stations takes longer for some reason, and it makes a bunch more stops. Because I checked it out. I was either going to fly, drive, or take a train to Chicago for Cure.
Planes, trains, and automobiles.
These season A's.
Yeah, the train was fairly cheap, but it was going to make like 5 stops on the way, and that's too long.
No, you didn't want that. I'm going to Chicago. Stand up. Yeah. What? But you can sleep or read or walk around or
Yeah, Wi-Fi.
anything.
Post on the fan page.
Yep.
Yeah.
Troll.
That's the big benefit. You can post on the fan page.
Yeah, I could have proved I actually went to the Cure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there is some doubt.
Yeah, there's one picture up there. If you want to look at it, go ahead.
People who went to Ole Miss ride the train to Chicago. That's when the Orson was whack. Boy, this Ole Miss thing. We got Saint, what is it? Cottleville and Webster Groves.
They're beefing.
We got Ole Miss in Missouri. We got the Warson's Wacko and Sweet Sweet Kai. We got the Loomster and Mr. Smith.
North of Manchester, south of
Yeah.
Manchester.
It's just a lot of wars.
I know.
Mr. Licks, Warson's Wacko.
Yeah.
Anything else? Am I leaving anything else?
There's polarized times.
There's scores to settle.
Yeah. Very much like the Civil War years.
Yeah, it kind of feels like the early 1860s right
Pick your
now.
side.
Absolutely. Jackson, what do you got going on as a bachelor in St. Louis?
For Labor Day?
Not really a bachelor, though, is he?
Man in love.
Yeah, playing.
Man about town.
That's right. Playing golf today.
Where's your boss, Far Oaks?
No, lucky enough to get on Glen Echo today.
Oh, it's a great track.
One of my favorites.
Mark Milton?
No,
Mark Milton.
Buddy of mine and guy I used to live next to works there. He's always very kind.
They're letting the help on Friday, a 3-day weekend.
He's very kind. And
It's usually a Monday play, Doug.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. And so playing there with a couple buddies, and then
Oatmeal, who can hit it a long way, doesn't know where it's going. Has problems putting too. I don't know what the deal with that.
The only
Oatmeal's
time I've
putter is.
seen Oatmeal swing a golf club, he missed, he whiffed. So I don't think that. Not to mention he lives in the District of Columbia, so it's gonna be tough. But to do that Saturday, watch some football.
Fight. Aggie.
Yeah. Hang out with my girlfriend. Not doing much. I got my next couple weekends are pretty crazy. Not crazy, but doing stuff over
Going to Columbia, going to a wedding.
Columbia next weekend, wedding the weekend after, then a week off, then going to Chicago the weekend after that, and then trying to move the week after that. It's a whole thing.
You're moving?
Mm-hmm.
Where are you going?
Whoa, breaking news. Hold on a second. Gabe, wait.
Nothing concrete yet. But
you don't know where you're moving?
No. I just.
Are you living in sin because it was the time?
No.
North or south of Manchester?
Ah.
Oh boy.
You're moving out of the hill?
North.
North of.
Oh, Doug, we could only imagine.
You're moving
I'm from north of Manchester.
Out of the hill?
Yes, sir.
You're moving to Dogtown?
No. Would that be north of Manchester?
Sure.
Aye.
Oh yeah, it would be.
Absolutely. It's got a little border to the south of it, but you're north of it there.
Yeah, currently south, moving north of Manchester.
Maplewood?
So. No, sir.
Ladue, Huntley, Town and Country, Clayton.
It's going to be in that area.
Dog!
Not in like Clayton.
bastard.
Not in like Clayton.
I knew the balloon party money was good.
I haven't signed.
Unrelatable
I haven't
SOB.
signed anything yet, but I've pretty much agreed to move into this new place. So looking forward to
moving
it.
back home to Olivet?
No.
Oh.
Nope, not back to
Condo, apartment, home?
Apartment, condo. I don't know what the difference is between those.
Are you living with anybody else?
Nope, just me.
I don't know that I buy that.
Doug's calling. That's
I don't
interesting.
know
Doug
that
wants
I
to see
buy
the
that.
action on the turn.
I don't know.
I'll call. I got pot odds now.
It's just going to be me.
Let's see what the river is.
You're in a house now, right?
No, sir.
No.
Apartment.
He's in a tar paper shack.
A what?
Tar paper shack.
That's me.
Oh.
Soon, but...
Los Lonely Boy says the money's on Brentwood Forest.
Close.
Oh. That little Mike Danton apartment complex across the street?
Yeah.
No, I did used to live there.
Did you really?
The villas, yeah, right across from like Obie Clark's. Yeah.
Those are pretty nice, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. I woke up one morning driving to Caffeiness, and Ryan Helsley walked out. Hello, closer.
Look at you.
Why are you moving so much? Are you on the lam?
Yeah, what's going on with you?
No, I wanted to move, so I'm moving.
Because it's an enormous hassle.
It's not. I mean, it's mostly just clothes.
You haven't collected a house full of junk yet.
Yeah, I don't. That's the kind of the plus side is I don't have that much stuff, like stuff that would be a pain in the ass to move. My bed's gonna be a pain in the ass, but we'll figure it out.
Wow, breaking news from the Orson's Wacko. Virgin is ring shopping this weekend. Look out, Zales.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not, but it's good stuff. It's great stuff.
Orson Woods Wacko is the type to live in Orson Woods his whole life. That's from Hottie Toddy, and these Ole Miss guys are not happy with the Ole Miss attacks.
No, there's a lot of people in St. Louis who live in their little municipality their whole lives.
I mean, didn't he say
I'm right
yesterday
there
he's from
with him.
Southern California?
Did he? I forget that.
Yeah, he definitely said that yesterday.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with living where you... For a long period of time. My parents moved to Brentwood in 1964 and stayed in the same house till they passed away.
Yeah, it's not uncommon.
Can I live with you, Jackson? My wife hates me. That's from Caller Buzz.
How about that? Are you willing to take on a boarder?
Guy who probably would finger you.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a plus. And they used to be Truman, so there's probably a lot of good stories there. We'll see. Let's start with appetizers and spritzers, and then we'll move on from there.
And you might take in a furry.
No.
I don't want to say it like some sort of declaration. Like I've decided to take in a furry.
But it's out there.
But it's out there that I'm open to it.
To a furry.
Jackson moving to U City, fam. Good on you. Move away from all the Gentiles. That's from Club Logger Tom Traven. Is that what this is? You're tired of the Gentiles?
Oh, I live in St. Louis. It's kind of been my life, bro.
Get yourself a nice condo on Ruth Park's course.
The storied fourth at Ruth Park.
That's where I cut my teeth.
Oh, yeah. I played there almost 3-4 times a week growing up.
I've never played there one time.
Really?
Home of the Fivesome.
You'd love it.
I'd rather listen to Iggy ramble for 3 hours than that cuck wacko's call yesterday ever again. That's from Mr. Sider. So he wants a piece of the wacko now. Man, Mr. Licks is getting more support.
Yeah, he sure is.
I'll move in with Jackson, and I don't need a 48-hour notice either. That's from former fan page moderator Neil Allen Craig Paquette. Wow, 2 fan page moderators under one roof, Doug. That's power.
Sorry, furries only. That's your policy?
I'm not looking, I don't know why this is coming. I'm not looking for a roommate, and if I was, I certainly wouldn't crowdsource it on a TMA on a Friday.
Well, I don't imagine you do advertise it if you're looking for a furry, because that could get weird.
I think that would be a case where you would advertise it so you could cast as wide as possible.
I don't know. You want everyone to know that you're shacking up with a furry?
Clip that off.
don't even know where this came from. Was I drugged? I feel like 2 seconds ago we were talking about something else, and then Doug keeps talking about furries. I don't know where that came from.
You should just never mention you were moving.
No. I don't. I mean, it's not too big a deal. I love the location of the hill. I do, but I just looking for a new spot.
Moved to Columbia, Illinois, literally right across the river and not Hoosier. That's from Don Peepee.
I love Columbia, Illinois. Play golf out there all the time. My dad was a Southern Illinois principal and educator forever, so I know that area quite well. But I don't think I'm going to move to the IL side just yet.
No, a lot more taxes for sure.
Home of top shooters.
Yeah, top shooters there. Great, a couple real fun golf courses.
Maybe one of the most beautiful women I know worked there.
Oh, no, who was that?
Shannon.
Okay, we're going to hear more about her?
No, she's gorgeous.
Okay.
I mean, she could be anything she wanted to be.
And she chooses to be a top shooter's waitress?
She was at the time. Then she started managing, and I don't know. She got married. I don't know what she's doing now, but I mean, she is just really drop dead gorgeous.
Oh, is she? Did you make a play at her?
No, I didn't.
No. She make a play at you?
We used to do a show there, me, Vernetti, and Bob Ramsey.
Did you show her your Speedo picture?
No, I didn't.
Missed opportunity there.
No, because I think she was dating somebody at the time.
Oh.
And plus, she's like 40 years younger than me, so that wouldn't have worked.
Well.
Unless maybe some girls like older men.
Yeah, you never know.
Not that old.
Columbia, Illinois is easily top 5 Hoosier places in St. Louis. Don P., you drink Busch Ice and like it. That's from Mr. Siders, and he's going after everybody today.
Top 5 Hoosier locations? I wouldn't put it there.
Like, those are fighting words because Lauren grew up in Columbia, Illinois.
Oh, so you've had enough at this point.
She's far from a Hoosier.
Yeah.
If you move to Southern Illinois, you're just admitting defeat and raising your kids as future bartenders. That's from the self-made stay-at-home Laduma.
Nonsense. All love to the Metro East.
Sorry, Tam, I don't have the copy in front of me.
You're just giving up. I imagine some people really enjoy being bartenders. The hours stink. But I could see if you were a younger person, how that wouldn't be the worst job in the world.
I did when I came back from Bermuda. And I had those 3 months in between, time off. We'd always come home right before Christmas, and I wouldn't go back till April. I just go to Nantucket Cove and let me 10 bar for 3 months, just to kill time. It was fun. A lot of women.
A lot of women left with you.
For me, yeah.
Yeah.
Just a way to stay busy.
Yeah. Well, the tips are probably pretty good.
For the most part. Yeah. It sucked because they had, on Fridays, Monday through Friday, they had 10-cent oysters from 5 to 7. And I would have to chuck those things. Shuck those things. God, you smelled like oysters all night. Cut your hands trying to open those things.
Yeah. 10-cent oysters seems like a trap.
No, they were good.
It's a good read.
They were
Jackson Burkett, 25, 6-year-old wisdom.
They were good. They were just tiny.
The Colonel's on hold, and I'm sure he's enjoying the conversation. But I got to set this up, Doug, because we're going to replay it on 101. It's sponsored on 101. And so we have to replay it, but the Colonel can't be on from 10 to 11 live because he's traveling today by train to Chi-Town. Stand up. So I'm going to do this to set it up. Watch this. What a treat this is going to be for the audience to hear my professionalism.
Okay.
And joining us right now, brought to you by James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency, online at carltoninsurance.net, as he will every Friday. It is our pleasure to welcome to the program the Colonel, Gabriel P. DeArmond of Power, Mizzou. Morning, Colonel.
What's going on? How are you guys?
Wonderful, Colonel. Anything that you can take away? Anything stand out from last night?
I mean, when you hold a team to 85 yards and don't give up a play longer than 9 yards all night, that was dominant defensively. Now, does it mean that they have a dominant defense and that everything's great? We don't know, but I've seen a lot of bad teams come into Columbia, and most of them managed to get to 100 yards and run more than one play on the other side of midfield. So, if anything, I mean, the Missouri defense would have won that game 7-0. I think you take something out of that And you look at the idea that, hey, they got a lot of brand new guys that had never played a game here for a brand new coach, and he managed to get them all on the same page and turn in a really good performance.
I think the thing that stands out from watching, I think 3+ quarters of that before I moved on, is that while, yes, Murray State's certainly not a test, it looks like this team has some depth. And I think that is one of the things that when you look at championship teams over the years, when you do have to get into games where it's going to be challenging, and of course you're going to deal with injuries just like any other team, you have to have that. What is your opinion of what we saw from a depth perspective last night?
I agree. I would say, look, to win big, you need depth and you need stars, right? We know Missouri has a star in Luther Burden. Now, they had some stars last year in guys like Tyron Hopper, Darius Robinson, Cody Schrader. Do they have that one guy? We don't know that yet. They have a lot of guys that I think are good players. How many great players do they have is what we're going to find out. Probably not at least until the month of October, just because of the way the schedule sets up. But I mean, it was their third defensive drive, and I looked up, and more than half the guys on the field had not started the game. Offensively, Marquise Johnson, Joshua Manning, Mekhi Miller, none of those guys started the game or will probably start a game this year, but all are capable on any given night of being one of Missouri's two leading receivers, I think. So they've got a lot of guys, a lot of options, no question about it. I think this is by far the deepest team Drinkwitz has ever had. I think it's the most athletic team he's ever had. And, you know, again, we got one more true preseason game, two kind of preseason games, and then we put all this to the test.
Do you see anything that's concerning at this point? Any obvious weakness that you can tell?
No, I mean, I've had a lot of people, you know, on our post-game show last night, on our message board. I did another radio show this morning, and everybody says, you know, I'm kind of worried Brady missed the deep passes. He did. I mean, he had 3 touchdowns he could have thrown, one to Luther, one to Mookie, and one to Marquise Johnson, and they missed on those. I would say, first of all, 55-yard passes, I don't care if the guy's wide open, aren't automatic completions. Second, you know, it's game one. I mean, look at what we thought of this offense after 2 weeks last year, and teams get better, and that's always what we fail to account for. We just see game one and say, well, this is the team we have for 12 games, so how's it going to go? And that's not the case. So I'm not super concerned about it. I think that a lot of times, especially in games like this that are lopsided, a lot of people watch them trying to identify, okay, what's the thing that's going to hurt us down the road? And that game was over 5 minutes and 20 seconds into it when it was 21-0, if not before that. So I just don't put a lot of stock. I think Brady was amped up. First night on the field in 8 months, overthrew a couple guys. It happens. He'll hit them this year.
Gabe Bjarman with us. He is brought to you by James Carlton, the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. It looks like Missouri, in replacing Cody Schrader this year, will attempt to go with the thunder and lightning style of running backs. Of course, both looked good last night, and I think everybody is aware to contextualize that against the opposition. It speaks to the offensive line, but it also, you could tell, whether you're playing Murray State or anybody else, that there's a different style of running there. What was your opinion of Nate Noel and Marcus Carroll, Colonel?
So I know the thunder and lightning thing is going to catch on, that type of dynamic, and they do have different styles, but I think maybe we're making a little too much of it. And just Missouri has 2 really good running backs. Like, when you call Marcus Carroll thunder, that to me, like, labels him as this guy that's going to get the ball between the tackles and just plow forward. I mean, he's got some speed to him. Nate Noel's faster, but Marcus Carroll showed some moves, and he's quick, and you know, so I think that maybe discredits him a little bit, and I think Nate Noel will be able to run between the tackles. He might not do it quite as often, but I think they've got 2 really good guys, and I said this earlier this morning. Don't be shocked if you look up in Week 5 at College Station and true freshman Kewan Lacey is the 3rd running back on this team. I know it was the 4th quarter against Murray State, but he looked different than the other guys that came in after Noel and Carroll, and we talked all offseason, right, about replacing Cody, and what I maintained all along was people are making too much of this. The offensive line's back, and it should be as good or better than it was last year. The passing game's still a factor. They're maybe not going to have one guy go run for 1,650 yards, but they're going to be able to run the football. And offensively, that was my biggest takeaway last night. Running game's going to be fine.
I thought it was pretty impressive that they got their 62,621 fans. You don't have to go back too far in Mizzou history to know that they would have gotten half that many against a Murray State caliber team. So this was a pretty big win for the program in general, wasn't it? Just to see what kind of interest there is in the Tiger football right now.
Absolutely. 6 straight sellout, that matters. I think Drinkwitz said last night that they told him it was the 6th biggest home opening crowd they've had. And obviously some of those you can't beat because the stadium used to hold more than it holds today. So, yeah, I think, I know a lot of people took some offense to what Eli said last week. He didn't say it on accident. It wasn't just he flew off the handle and said something. That was calculated. He wants to make a statement that this team is going to sell out every game because their team is playing. And if you sold out Murray State, I don't see any reason you're not going to sell out Buffalo. You're not going to sell out Vanderbilt. Every game on the schedule at home is better than that one last night. So if people showed up for that one, and credit to the fans too. I mean, guys, it was hot out there. Standing out in those parking lots drinking for 2.5 hours before a game, honestly, it sounded miserable to me. But credit to them. They all did it, and they were there. And Drinkwitz brought up, they weren't just there. They were there when the game started, and that's, that's something.
Gabe, do you see this season as having more anticipation, expectation than 2008?
I don't think more, but I think right there. I think the only reason you might say more is because there is a easier path to the ultimate prize, which is the playoff. I mean, in 2008, you still had to be one of the top 2 teams, right? So you started that season thinking, okay, I think they have a team that is capable of it, but they have to be pretty much perfect to do it. This year, you start and say, I think they have a team that is capable of, and if they trip up once or maybe even twice, they still have a team that's capable of it. So I think that's the difference. After that Oklahoma State game in 2008, I thought not only the fan base kind of the wind went out of the sails, I thought the wind went out of the sails of the team because they knew everything they were playing for was very unlikely at that point. If Missouri goes down and loses at College Station, or if they're 7-0 and go lose at Alabama, whatever it might be, they know they've still got plenty to play for, and I don't think you'll see a team the next week that just comes out flat and acting like there's nothing left on the table.
Heaven forbid something happened to Brady Cook, but it looked like Drew Pine played pretty well last night. What'd you think of him?
He did, yeah. I mean, like every single thing we're talking about, we are prefacing with, hey, it was Murray State. We don't really know, but they did to that team what they should have done. I think Pine was 10 for 11, 82 yards. Drinkwitz took a little shot at him, said he didn't show a lot of athleticism on the quarterback keeper, so we got to work on that. But then he also said, but that's not why he was here or was brought here. And he said, he was very impressed with Pine. I thought he did well. And again, working with, the other thing you have to think about with a backup quarterback, if you are in a situation where he has to come in the game because Brady's out, well, then he's working with the number 1 offensive line, not the number 2. He's working with Luther Burton and Theo Weiss and Brett Norfleet, not, guys who I think are still good players, but not the top line players. So, yeah, I think, and I heard this in the summer, Missouri feels like it has a guy in Drew Pine where if Brady Cook goes down, all is not lost. They think they have a guy who can go in there and win them football games.
Did we get a report after the game on Norfleet, or is it just a precautionary thing?
Yeah, Drinkwitz said he was not all that concerned about any of the injuries going forward. My amateur physician, which is not at all a physician opinion from, 150 yards above the field, when Norfleet was going to the injury tent, you could see he had a shoulder slump and an arm just kind of hanging. Like he was not moving his I think it was his left arm really at all. And he went into that tent. And when he came out of the tent and went into the locker room, he was moving both arms. he looked just like he was moving better. So, again, we didn't get an official word, but it looked like a thing where, hey, maybe that shoulder kind of popped out, and they had to pop it back in. And I've never had that happen, but know plenty of people who have. And it's a thing that, yeah, it could pop up again. You get hit the wrong way, you fall the wrong way, it could pop up again. But it's also a thing that a lot of guys play through. Just, hey, we might have to do this 2 or 3 times during the season. You can get it fixed after the year, but you can play with it because it's not a tear or a break or anything like that. It's just a matter of getting the thing back into place and sending you back out there, which, hey, lesson number 974,000 that football players are tougher than I am.
Final question for you, Colonel. Buffalo in comparison to Murray State, in comparison to Vanderbilt.
Buffalo's significantly better than Murray State. Probably half step below Vanderbilt, to be quite honest. I look at this 4-game September as they've got 2 true practice preseason games. Like, there was no path to losing to Murray State. Their first 2 teams could have been sick, and they would have won that game with the 3rd string. Next week, they'll probably need a few of the 1st and 2nd stringers to play, but there's a path to losing, but it's very difficult. And then Boston College and Vandy, I look at as, hey, these are Power 4 football teams. They have guys who were recruited by other Power 4 football teams. You can't just roll your helmet out and win, but you should win.
There it is. Gabe DeArmond, Power Mizzou, with us every Friday on Balloon Party, presented to you by James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency, every Monday on TMA. Colonel, safe travels this weekend, and we'll look forward to talking to you next week.
All right, appreciate you guys being flexible with me. Have a good one.
All right, there he is. It's Gabe DeArmond with us here, talking it over regarding Missouri's win last night. Doug, you are furious with Tony Barnhart, Mr. College Football. He has just tweeted out his 12-team playoff. He's got Georgia, Ohio State 1-2. He still likes the Seminoles, and he's got them at 3.
Really?
Utah at 4. Oregon at 5, Texas at 6, Roll Tide at 7, Hottie Toddy taking a lot of heat on this show, but now with Tony Barnhart, they're at 8, Michigan's at 9, Penn State's at 10, Notre Dame's at 11, and Memphis is at 12.
Garbage list. Garbage list. Florida State at 3, come on. Drop their opener like that. This guy doesn't know that we're about to go 12-0. If we can put those Block M logos on the helmets, this team will not be beaten. Garbage list that this guy came up with.
Now, Michigan has not played a game yet, correct?
That's right.
Yeah, new coordinator, new coach, new quarterback. I mean, and nobody knows what they have, and they're 9th in the country. That's stupid.
Well, they know who they've recruited and who's back from the year before. A lot of teams don't have their quarterback from a year ago. A lot of them. If you're the best team in the country last year, you're probably going to still be pretty good this year.
I don't know. I don't see him as the 9th team in the country.
Where would you slot them in?
22.
Oh, gosh.
That's kind of just the problem with preseason rankings in general. I mean, I
never know if people are ranking based on what they think's going to wind up happening or just who they think's the best, because you play some of these things out from a season perspective. It's like, well, can't work that way.
Right.
Because a number of these teams play each other.
Yeah.
And so they won't be in that seat. I don't know. So I don't know how people do their rankings, and in the whole scheme of things, I suppose it's just air anyway.
It's a number to put next to the name, so it gets more marquee matchups. But even with Michigan being ranked 9th after a national championship is really rare. Like that's really low for a team that just won the Natty. So I get what you're saying, Iggs, but it is usually the opposite. Usually they're ranking them like 2 or 3.
The guy who was doing the color analyst last night,
Dan Mullen.
Yeah, Dan Mullen. He didn't even have Alabama in his top 12. Do you see that?
He had Missouri though.
Yeah, Missouri. Yeah, I mean, and that's why so much of the conversation, and I know right now some Missouri fans, would it be Tiger nationalists, are very sensitive when the talk of the schedule comes up. But it's a real thing. Alabama, when you take a look at their schedule, and then you play out how a season would go, they have some real tests just to start the season. I mean, they got to go to Madison, Wisconsin, not to say that they should lose it, but that isn't a win for sure, on the 14th, and then they host Georgia, and that's just September. And they got to go to Knoxville, and they got Missouri coming in on the 26th. And who would have ever said we'd be living in a time where we're like, hey, Alabama's got to worry about Missouri coming in on October 26th. They go to Baton Rouge on the 9th and Norman, Oklahoma on the 23rd of November. And then they finished against War Eagle. So,
Jesus.
I mean.
Yeah, that's oh my God.
There's certainly 3 losses there. Now, if they go 10-2 with that schedule, I would say they're in. But, 9-3. And that's what's going to be, I think, playing this thing out. I think if Missouri's 10-2, and if the losses are, A&M and Alabama, it's going to be tough because of the non-conference schedule. What could be interesting is you could see a team that gets 9-3 goes ahead of a 10-2 team, and where committees will value. Will they be valuing wins or lesser of the losses? And then valuing schedules. And then if a team winds up with 3 losses, but they went to the conference championship game, and then they're up against a 10-2 team, and they're 10-3. So all of those little factors we don't know because there's no precedent. 8:58 in St. Louis. We'll close out our Fisher Window and Door Store 8 o'clock hour. Fisher Window and Door Store, sponsor of the 8 o'clock hour here on TMA. Fisher Window and Door Store is a Marvin company. And you say, well, what's a Marvin company? I'll be happy to answer that question for you anytime you want to ask it. Do you want to support Fisher Window and Door? Well, here you go. Providing you with quality American-made Marvin windows and doors. Visit their showrooms in Brentwood or East Alton, Illinois, or online at FisherWindow.com. That's FISCHER, FisherWindow.com. That's FisherWindow.com. Doug, would you like to tell people about Brown & Crouppen?
Sure, I would. If you think you have a potential personal injury lawsuit, Brown & Crouppen is a local law firm here to serve you. Ed Herman was here the other day, and he said that the most common lawsuit that they're kind of involved in right now is somebody being hit by a distracted driver. Happens all the time. If you find yourself a victim of that, Brown & Crouppen is there to help you get some justice. Here's how it works. You give them a call. The number is 314-222-2222. They'll go over the phone with you, a free evaluation, decide if you have a case, and if they do go forward, they work on a contingency basis, no upfront cost at all to you. If you don't get paid, they don't get paid, so it just makes good sense to give them a call, see if maybe you have a case if you have been injured due to someone else's negligence. If you need justice, Brown & Crouppen is there to help you get it. Founded in 1979, they got a new office down there on the Hill. Started as a small operation. Now they've grown into one of the largest personal injury firms in the Midwest because they win. If you think you may need Brown & Crouppen services, give them a call. Here's the number again, 314-222-2222. Or you go to brownandcrouppen.com and make sure you let them know you heard about it here on TMA. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising. Past results are no guarantee of future results. And every case is different and must be judged on its own accord.
Do you want to support the EDF Group as a sponsor of TMA? It's real simple. Do you have a fire extinguisher where you work? Well, the answer is yes, you certainly do. So please email the EDF Group at fire@theedfgroup.com so a technician can come out and explain to your team how the EDF Group can save your company money. Again, that email address is fire@theedfgroup.com. The EDF Group is hot and will prevent your facility from having hot fires. Experience the EDF Group difference. Learn more at theedfgroup.com. All right, we close out the Fisher Window and Door Store 8 o'clock hour coming up in the 5P Academy and Hustle and Heart Sports Performance 9 o'clock hour. We'll have the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. Send yours in. If anybody other than the JV golf coach or Kevin Miller wins, Buck Swope wins the month of August. Send your emails in the morning after at InsideSTL.com. Then Jackson and I'll head down the hallway. I don't know. They should be fine. I don't know. They probably aren't going to be happy, though. It's Balloon Party from 10 to 11 on 101 ESPN. You are listening to TMA, presented to you by Brown & Crouppen.
Looking for the perfect spot for your next private event? Whether it's a baby shower, bridal shower, birthday party, or business meeting, Rosalita's has you covered. Enjoy the vibrant atmosphere in one of Rosalita's 2 exclusive private rooms with a customized menu that is perfect for your upcoming event. And if you're planning a date night, don't miss the lively mariachi nights every Friday and Saturday. Plus, Rosalita's gift cards make the perfect gift for any occasion. Come celebrate at Rosalita's, where every Every event is a fiesta. Learn more at rosalitascantina.com.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan. I regret not managing my finances better in my 20s and my 30s, and now I see how crucial it is for achieving major life goals. Mark Hanna with Evergreen Wealth Strategies helps everyday people every day with their finances, discussing cash flow, liquidity, investments, insurance, and tax-efficient strategies. No matter your financial planning stage, Mark will boost your confidence and keep you on track. Learn more at evergreenstl.com.
Equitable Advisors, LLC, member FINRA, a broker-dealer and a SEC registered investment advisor. Equitable Financial Advisors and MI. Evergreen Wealth Strategies is not a registered investment advisor and does not provide tax advice.
Elevate your performance. Pure Performance is your one-stop shop for all aftermarket modifications. Known for their top quality work and outstanding customer service. It's officially Jeep and Bronco season. Pure Performance carries any accessory for your vehicle, old models to brand new. From sunshades, soft tops, trail doors, to off-road gear like bumpers and light bars, Pure Performance has you covered. Stop by the Pure Performance showroom at 3725 Harry S. Truman Boulevard in St. Charles or visit pureperformance.com. That's PURperformance.com.
The world's largest sports book in Las Vegas is now right at your fingertips here in Illinois. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I'm a lifelong sports bettor, and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. We're excited about launching our Circus Sports app in Illinois. It's sports betting the way it should be, with high betting limits, tight money line splits, exceptional customer service, and more. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com. Start betting like a pro from anywhere in Illinois.
If you want a first-class, top-of-the-line, high-quality interior remodeling job, you know who I'm going to suggest. Collier & Thompson. Known for their kitchen and bathroom remodels, Collier & Thompson is where you go when you want your remodeling job done right the first time. Collier & Thompson doesn't just do large remodeling jobs. They do plenty of man caves, bars, offices, pretty much anything inside your home. Check out their 10,000-square-foot showroom next to Uncle Bill's Pancake House on Manchester. Let them bring your dream remodel to reality. CollierandThompson.com.
The Illinois Recovery Center is dedicated to providing precise and authentic care to those seeking help and treatment. Recovery, it's not just a goal, it's a transformative journey. At Illinois Recovery Center, you'll find an unwavering commitment to provide the support, guidance, and personalized care you or your loved one needs to rediscover a life filled with purpose, strength, and lasting renewal. If you or someone you know wants more information about the Illinois Recovery Center, please call 888-472-9559 or visit IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com.
When we think of a real estate agent, we think of somebody simply selling our home or finding us a new one. I mean, they're all the same, right?
Okay, here's the comps. We'll take some pics, we'll post them, and I'll get back to you, okay?
A home is life-changing, and your real estate agent should reflect that. Honesty, integrity, and someone who will go above and beyond to make your dreams come true.
The Jeff Lotman Group with Compass Realty. We're different because you're different. We want what you want. Experience the difference today at jefflotman.com, bringing people and properties together.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here with James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. James, I love getting emails from listeners who support the sponsors. Got one from a client of yours who switched, and you immediately saved him $1,000, and it meant the world to him.
The area that we're really having an impact on people's finances are people with drivers under the age of 25. We are seeing material savings for these types of clients, hundreds, if not even thousands of dollars per year.
James Carlton, Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency, 314-961-4800, or go online at carltoninsurance.net.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
Stupiracy, the podcast where stupidity meets history and conspiracy.
I'm really confused. What are we doing?
With hosts Scott Rizzuto and Tim McKernan.
It's time to learn the truth.
Check out the latest episode, available now. As Riz and Tim delve into the gruesome details of the Erfurt latrine disaster of 1184.
Oh, God, it's horrible.
Discover how a meeting of European nobles turned into a horrific tragedy when the floor of a church collapsed, plunging dozens into a cesspit of human waste.
Oi!
Waste on the bathroom.
Watch or listen to the latest Stupiracy Now on Spotify, Apple, or YouTube. Presented by Evergreen Wealth Strategies. Visit evergreenstl.com or call Mark at 314-889-0503. And by Brown & Crouppen, 222-2222 or getbc.com.
Introducing the first ever TMA Banty Brew, a 16-ounce canned wheat ale with orange and coriander and an image of all 4 TMA boys across the front. The Banty Brew, a refreshing ale made with white wheat, brown coriander, and fresh whole oranges. Head to any Salt and Smoke location today to try the TMA Banty Brew. Must be 21 or older to consume or purchase. See the can at tmastl.com and find a participating location to try it for yourself. Brought to you by Charlottesville Brewery and Winery in St. Genevieve, Show Me Beverages, and Salt and Smoke. Find out more at tmastl.com. KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day. Tim, Doug, Iggy, Action Jackson.
It's the Brown & Crouppen Morning After. 105.7 HD2.
Welcome back. It is TMA, presented to you by Brown & Crouppen, and we welcome to the program from our 9 o'clock hour sponsor, 5P Academy, and Hustle and Heart Sports Performance. Ladies and gentlemen, Dustin Salyers is in studio. Morning, Dustin.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Welcome to the program. Yeah. You're a loyal listester.
I am. Long time, since the beginning.
Since the beginning?
Since the beginning.
2004?
I graduated.
With Martin?
I graduated high school in 2002 and listened. I went to SEMO, but I would listen when I was home, and from the beginning.
Doug, how about that? Doesn't that impress you when somebody's been listening for 20 years?
Do you listen because you're a swinger boy?
I listen because I love me some Doug Vaughn.
How about that?
Love me.
Sounds like you might be interested in swinging with Doug. That's what I took that to mean.
I was hoping to get the seat closer to Doug, and I just couldn't pull it off.
No, now I'm uncomfortable. Well, thanks for listening for all these years.
I do my best.
Disappointed you.
Yeah, we do apologize for the show.
I've gotten through.
Tell our audience what it is. These are 2 separate companies here.
Yes, sir.
So explain, if you would. Pierre Desir is involved in one of them, the owner of one of them.
He is the owner of Hustle and Heart.
He was with Lindenwood last night in Kansas?
Yeah, he says he's not here because he had to be on the sideline for Lindenwood, but really he was worried I was going to get more sexual advances than him.
Oh, Doug.
Goodness.
Yeah, it's competitive when guys want to be hit on by the audience.
Yeah. It is. And, I mean, he may be an ex-NFL player,
right,
but obviously I'm the one that brings the juice in this.
I don't think so.
I agree with that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, he is the owner of Hustle and Heart. He started that when he retired from the NFL 2 years ago after a season with Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. It's a performance-based gym in O'Fallon, Missouri. Some of the top trainers, has everything from college players preparing to go off to college players getting ready for the draft, to junior players, high school players. Really a focus on the football world, but they train softball players, volleyball players. They have 40-yard football field, college-style weight room, red light sauna, recovery rooms. Just a great place to be if you're an athlete in the St. Louis area.
Very nice.
Yeah.
What's a red light sauna?
Red light sauna. So normal sauna, but instead in the inside it has red recovery light. Mm-hmm. As you can probably tell, I'm not too much of an athlete myself, so I don't spend a lot of time in there.
Oh, you look fit as a fiddle.
Oh, I appreciate that, Doug. Mm-hmm. I appreciate that, but I don't know if I'm at that point. But I hear it's great. I know the recovery room has the leg sleeves that inflate that help to get circulation to your legs, different things like that. A lot of great stuff that's really not useful for me, but great for a high school athlete.
Would that help with my varicose veins?
It might. I can get you in there, talk to Pierre, see if we can get you a session.
Thank you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I guess you can wear compression socks in these things at the same time.
Yeah, and then double up. Sure. Okay. Why not? I might as well.
Yeah. So where is the gym? You said O'Fallon.
So O'Fallon, Missouri, close to the T.R. Hughes ballpark, whoever plays there now. It's right down the street near Zumwalt North Christian High School. I say he's been there for about 2 years. A lot of great players train out of there. Jeremiah McClellan, who's now at Oregon. And then Pierre's hands-on training kids himself. So 8 years in the NFL at defensive back, played at Lindenwood, does a lot of the training. They have some great trainers. Aunt Wilson, who trains a lot of the higher level people from this area.
This is your aunt?
Yeah, he is not a ant. It's A-N-T.
Gotcha.
So more like the bug than the female. Yes.
I gotcha. Okay.
And then so we got connected 2 years ago. I run 5P Academy. We are now a partner. We are partner companies. And he handles all the training side. That's more of his thing, and I handle the competitive side. So what we do at 5P Academy is our focus is travel 7-on-7 and flag football, which has really taken off on both the boys and girls side.
Oh, is that right? Really?
Yep. So girls flag football is actually a high school sport in Illinois now. So
really,
we're starting this year with traveling nationwide with the girls side also. We were the 8U flag national champions, which doesn't sound as exciting as it actually, 8U players can do it too.
Olympic sport in 2026, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On the 7-on-7 side, we were 5th in the country in high school 7-on-7. So we take the best players from Missouri, Illinois, Arkansas, and travel all over the country and play some of the best players in the country.
So this is a place where the premier athletes go, or those wanting to become a premier athlete?
Yes, sir. So kind of the path is you come in, you train, you start getting sessions in, and then once we see you advancing to that level, we get you on the road, get you in tryouts, and then you start competing nationwide. It's gotten to the point now where just as many college coaches come through us, through 7-on-7, to recruit kids as they do in high school, because you really see our kids play against the best players in the country. So at high school, you might be playing, 2A and playing against a kid that's going to be bagging groceries here in a couple weeks. But in 7-on-7, you're playing against 5 stars, 4 stars every weekend, everywhere we go. So
great for position players.
Yeah, position player. We're not big on linemen. Not big on linemen, but yeah, wide receivers, corners. Yep.
How can our audience learn more about both of these places?
So you can give me a call. It's Dustin, 314-440-8457. And also info@5pacademy.com is the email. If you want to look us up online, Hustle and Heart Sports Performance at Gmail, or hustleandheartsportsperformance.com. Pierre's going to kill me for messing that up. But yeah, we're excited to be a part of the show and excited to be a part of this audience.
God bless. Played a lot of slow pitch softball against Dustin. He's a good guy. That's from the Crystal City Clamhammer.
Uh-oh.
Do you know the Crystal City Clamhammer, Dustin?
I believe I do. I was a little banty rooster out on the softball field.
Is that right?
I don't want to associate with those times.
Oh, no. What you'd scrap?
I'm just a little competitive guy.
Yeah.
When you're 5'11" and a little overweight, you got to bring some competitiveness to get anything done.
I fantasize about being 5'11".
I played some high-level basketball, so to do that, I had to.
Oh wow, you probably
were.
a
little feisty. I had to be a little feisty. Yeah.
Who'd you play for?
I played high school at Zumwalt West, and I went to SEMO. I was more of a spectator, but
you on the team?
You could say that, but not really. I made an attempt, but no. But Pierre.
Well, that's a high level.
Yeah, Pierre played in the NFL. I am not the athlete of the group.
Oh,
so
two-part question, Doug. They're coming in. Isn't that always nice when we get two-part?
I worry about these.
I'm excited.
Yeah, this is what you're here for. Dustin wants the two-part question.
I want them.
Okay. Two-part question. Number one, how new is the facility? And number two, do you encourage dads to hook up via the Game Changer app during travel tournaments? It's from the bastard James Hahn.
So we use Team Snap, but it is very friendly to the dad hookup scene.
Nice, isn't that great, Doug?
I think there is Messenger on there to where you can just message like the Dickens and really dig in.
On road trips they do this?
I mean, we're in Houston, Texas. What is there else to do?
Amen.
Oh, gosh.
That's a great time.
I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah,
see?
I mean, yeah.
Does Pierre know about this?
I would say he is not part of that part of the scene. We like to only bring him out when we're really trying to show him off. So, but as far as the facility goes, it is a new 2 years old, brand new turf, black turf field, all brand new equipment, brand new recovery rooms. Everything is nice and pretty, and it's a great place to work out.
What's the glory hole sitch at this fella's gym? That's from Mrs. Jenny Shanahan. People are just kind of trying to, they haven't been able to find this information.
Feeling them out. Unfortunately, it's just a single occupancy bathroom.
Oh, no, Doug. Are you not going to go now?
That is a miss.
We look to install the glory hole, but the bathroom is actually right off of the 40-yard field. So it would have to be like 20-yard line situation where the hole would be on the outside of the bathroom. I don't know.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
I don't know if it would work. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Gosh.
Let's see. Can I get Iggy in that red light sauna and drain his yogurt? That's from Dirty Chewbacca.
God.
Iggy, she has been pursuing you now for a while.
He has.
I think it can. I think it fits up to 6 people. So Iggy would have the choice.
Oh.
He could have the dais plus 1.
Oh, we could all be there, Doug, with Dirty Chewbacca.
I don't know.
I'm a big sauna guy, too.
Ooh,
I used
there you
to
go.
belong to a gym, but all I would do is just go sit in the sauna.
Have you tried the red light sauna?
I haven't.
It's nice. Just come by. We'll get you in
Let me
there.
know when. I'll come by.
All right.
Guy can confirm that Team Snap is the Tinder of daddy hookups.
I don't
It's from
know
King
that it
Fupa.
is.
I hadn't heard that.
We actually pay extra for that service.
Really?
I think there's an opt-in. Can you help me with my swim move for the bedroom? And didn't we play swords in the men's room at Jeremiah's at SEMO? So coy, War Damn Red Hawk. That's from Flocky the Smurf.
I'm sure we did play swords, but that was such a large group of gentlemen that I can't point one out, really. So, Doug, we actually have a offer from one of our sponsors. Gamebreaker is our uniform sponsor.
Oh, yeah.
And they said that if their vice president's a huge listener, he said that if you will come out to the tryout and wear the uniform, he'll pay for the uniform. Spandex shorts, spandex jersey, and a nice little helmet, kind of like what they wear. It's called a Gamebreaker soft shell.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like what they wear in the NFL over the helmet.
Sure.
He said whatever we could do to get you out there.
To go for tryouts?
You just got to show up.
Just
be
show up
out there
at any time.
Sport the uniform.
Okay, so you can take a picture of me in this getup.
That would be the goal. Yes.
Okay, with the spandex.
Preferably. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, preferably.
Yeah. Well, okay, I'll try to get out there.
I need a strong.
Well, when do you need me out there?
Well, our tryouts. That's a good question. Our tryouts are actually in November and early December. So as soon as the high school regular season ends, we have our tryouts. We'll have 3 dates, which is all online, and we send out. If you could show up to either of those, Zumwalt East or Parkway North or at Hustle and Heart, we'd love to have you. And I think you'd look good in the uniform.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I show
agree
up
with
at
Dustin.
these tryouts and stand around, and you put me in spandex, and I just stand there.
Well, you won't be you'll be peacocking.
I'll be peacocking
all around.
This guy knows his stuff. Dustin knows his stuff, Doug.
Can I show myself off a little
exactly
bit?
right.
A lot.
Okay.
I think Pierre's gonna wear it too, and you guys can
is
just maybe do some one-on-ones.
Oklahoma's.
Okay. Yeah.
Oklahoma would be good.
Yeah.
Oklahoma would be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to see Doug in that big cranium helmet with the.
You got a big head to begin with.
We'll find a size for you.
All
I
right.
think.
Let me know, and I'll get
extra
out there.
small shorts though.
All right.
Yeah, for sure.
Extra. Well, I don't know about the extra small shorts.
Yeah. Jackson, what do you think?
Oh, definitely.
Oh, I think that's what you do. What do you say? Thighs out?
Skies out, thighs out,
Yeah,
pants
Doug.
above the knees, Doug. Everyone knows that you got to put the football pants above the knees.
Amen.
And they're sleeveless, so you're gonna be showing the guns.
But what about the varicose veins?
Part of the draw.
It is. It is.
It's part of the draw.
Yeah.
You know.
You're gonna bring something to the table that these other kids can't bring.
I agree with that. One more two-parter for you here, Dustin. Two-parter. Do you do soccer training? And also, have you ever seen Dad standing behind the goalpost to catch the field goals and tackle each other and then make out? Doug, that's from Sniffin' Hole.
When you can't have the net.
Well, Sniffin' Holes, we do soccer training. We train for all sports. Let's say it's college-style weight room. We do a lot of speed and conditioning, a lot of weight training. So really, speed and agility-wise, we train for all sports. I like to actually, when the field goal goes up, even though I'm a high school football coach, as the ball goes up, I like to chase it and then be a part of that scrum behind the goal.
Isn't that great?
Heaven,
Isn't that
as
great?
a coach?
Yeah.
As a coach.
Yeah.
You leave your sideline.
I always felt like Coach
I do.
Kornfeld should have done that, but he
The
didn't.
headset off.
I think that's what separates me from Coach Kornfeld. I think at Zumwalt East, they say I'm a young Coach Kornfeld.
Oh, wow.
Except for the fact that I like the dad play. I do.
Oh, do your players know this?
As long as we take Orchard Farms measure tonight, they're good with whatever we decide.
Season opener tonight.
Season opener tonight.
How do you like your chances?
If we do what we are coached to do, we will have a chance to win the game.
How about that? Wow, that was good coach speak
That's
right
all
there.
we're allowed to say.
That's good.
That's all we're allowed to say.
That's good coach
Who's
speak.
big for you?
We have a quarterback named Carson Topping who is just going to be the bee's knees this year.
Really?
Yep. He's going to be big time. Yeah. I'm also girls high school basketball coach. I dabble all over.
Man, you are all over.
I dabble all over. Yep.
I know you do individuals. Sorry, Tim, but I was going to say, you do individuals out there. Do you have affiliations with schools that send all their athletes out there, and you work with certain schools?
So I coach at a school. Pierre actually went to House Central. We have a lot of House Central kids, but we get kids from literally everywhere. I mean, we have kids that come from Quincy, Illinois to come train with us.
Is that right? Wow.
Yep. We have a lot of college players that come from a lot of schools. Obviously, Pierre was the first ever player drafted out of Lindenwood, first ever have a pro day at Lindenwood. So we have a lot of connection with the Lindenwood program. So we do some training there. But yeah, it's not school specific. We like to be available for all high school athletes, and just really, we're all about growing young adults into being good humans. That's why with 7-on-7 we travel around, we do college visits, we structure it like a college game day where we have team meals, team meetings in the hotels, like I said, college visits. So we want to bring as many kids in as possible to get associated with us so we can train them not only to be great athletes but also work well in the businesses and whatever they decide to do in life. So.
There's a lot of kids out there, too, aren't there? That population is younger and it's exploding. The high schools are huge. There's a lot of athletes out there.
Yeah, it's crazy today of just like, when we play in Kansas, let's say, we'll play some teams that all their kids that play on that traveling team are all from the same high school because there's no other high school within 40 miles. Okay. Or some of the schools in Iowa, where at Zumwalt East, we have 11 high schools within 10 miles. Our campus connects with another high school.
Really?
Yeah, St. Charles Lutheran and us share campus ground. So this area especially is just so populated with athletes, and we have so much talent that comes out of this area. A lot of the 7-on-7 teams that do what we do pull from all over the country, fly players in. We don't need to do that. We're St. Louis grown. We have all of our players from this area, and we're able to compete nationally just from the athletes we have. So,
learn more about our 9 o'clock hour sponsor and Dustin and Pierre Desir and what they are doing. It's 5P Academy and Hustle and Heart Sports Performance. Dustin Salyer's in studio with us here. Good luck tonight against Orchard Farms.
Orchard Farm. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Dustin, thanks so much. There he is, our new sponsor of the 9 o'clock hour. Thank you for coming in, brother. We appreciate it.
Let us know what the dad's stitch is.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get that app.
I'll keep you updated.
Yeah, Doug.
If you could.
And Doug will be out there wearing those coaches shorts.
Perfect.
Yeah, spandex, if you please.
Yeah, there it is. Dustin, thank you so much, man. We appreciate it. There he is. That's Dustin Salyers.
Thanks.
New 9 o'clock hour sponsor here on TMA, 5P Academy and Hustle and Heart Sports Performance, 9 o'clock hour. Send your emails in for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today, the morning after at InsideSTL.com. And you can see if you can keep Buck Swope from winning. JV golf coach Kevin Miller, that's in your control. You know, it's going to be fun. Sure. At the same time, Buck Swope wins, it's over. And he wins emphatically. Transform your story at Illinois Recovery Center. At Illinois Recovery Center, the team believes in the strength of every individual's journey to recovery. Whether you're taking the first step or continuing your path, the IRC's dedicated team is here to support you. Why choose Illinois Recovery Center? A holistic healing approach, expert care and guidance, safe and welcoming environment, tailored programs for lasting recovery, top-notch facility and accommodation. Embarking on a path of recovery is a profound journey of breaking free from the chains of addiction and actively building resilience. It's about tapping into the inherent strength within, acknowledging the battles faced, and emerging victorious over adversity. In this transformative process, individuals unleash the power of their recovery, realizing that each step taken, each challenge overcome, contributes to a stronger, more resilient self. Go online at IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com to learn more or call 888-472-9559. That's IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Eli Drinkwitz thoughts on the crowd last night.
Okay.
I mean, when we kicked off, it reminded me of what it was last year. So it was an awesome job by the crowd, and you could just tell our players, with that fast start, fed off the energy of the crowd. I think we're where we wanted to be, and now we just got to keep improving. The name of the game is how much better can you get? 2 years ago, we had a big win and then kind of laid an egg the very next week because we thought we patted ourselves on the back, for a week. So we're not going to do that. We're going to get in there. We're going to figure out how to improve, and we're going to attack it this week in practice.
Okay.
Here it is, Doug.
All right.
Buffalo Bulls.
Buffalo Bulls.
Can't take them lightly.
Uniform reveal coming soon.
When does that come out?
Probably on Thursday or Friday.
Friday?
Yeah.
Okay.
With the elaborate videos, though, hopefully Thursday, so we can break it down Friday.
They're going to need a lot of time for those videos. You got to get the player out to a farm somewhere, make sure they got a pig available to walk around in the background.
Probably a bull this week.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
What do you think, white or gold? I think they already did the black last night, so don't they switch up?
Yeah, but when you're at home, you can't necessarily wear white unless LSU comes to town. So they'll probably go black again. I bet they go black on black again. Maybe with the block M.
I always liked the days where home teams wore white in every sport.
You've been pretty consistent on that.
Mm-hmm. I think that's the way it should be. So that when the other team comes in, you get to see their colors. Oklahoma comes in wearing red. I don't want to see Oklahoma in white.
Fair enough.
We have a great link here, but it's Chairman. It's from telegraph.co.uk, but it's a subscription only.
Oh no, I'm not subscribed, so I'm not going to be able to help you.
Oh, so you didn't read it? You just sent the headline down. You liked it.
It happens from time to time.
Oh no. What
was the title of that one?
Doug, you wanted me to read. We have an open marriage. I love hearing about the sex my wife's having.
Oh, we got to pay to read that?
That's right.
I'm sure we've read something similar in the past.
I'm sure.
Whoa, what make you say that?
Sometimes those damn sites, they give you like 4 free articles. They tickle you with 4 free articles, and you're like, oh, this is going to be a great site for stuff. And
maybe we should
site for stuff.
Yeah. Maybe we should get a headline like that and just make up the story ourselves. Because that's what someone else is doing.
Whoa!
Yeah, seriously.
Do we have the new SEC on ABC theme?
I can pull it up.
All right. Doug, there's a new theme because the SEC's on ABC, not CBS any longer. CBS has Big Ten.
Okay. And the Big Ten Conference is, 48 schools this year?
That's correct, 48 schools.
And the SEC is up to 18 now? 16? 18.
Ready?
By Nurse.
Yes. I don't know.
It's awesome.
I mean, it's this fine piece of music, but it doesn't sound like SEC country to me, does it?
It does. I don't know what it
I want to hear
something. Sounds like a lackluster intro from the 70s or 80s to me.
Yeah, it sounds like the opening of Dallas.
What are the famous sports? Most famous one is NBC, NBA.
Round Ball Rock.
Round Ball Rock, and that's John Tesh.
Oh. I would think with the SEC, you might have something with a little country feel to it, country music type.
Steel guitar.
Maybe. Isn't that SEC
fiddle?
Country?
Would you like a fiddle?
You put some fiddle in there. Yeah. Yeah. But it's not going to make me watch or not watch. I guess it's fine. Not much of a factor. I don't think of SEC when I hear that music.
Here's Round Ball Rock. It sounds kind of like
sounds like the same thing.
Yeah, there's some similarity. But I don't think this. I'll take Round Ball Rock.
But this is okay because the NBA is all over the country. SEC is obviously mostly the southeast part of the country.
About college football on Fox. What's their Saturday open sound like?
Are you crowdsourcing? No.
Yeah, I might as well just hit all the networks.
Mhm.
College Game Day on ESPN.
Oh, that's Darius Rucker and Laney Wilson and Big and Rich?
That's more like what I would expect from the SEC.
I enjoy that. I enjoy that.
The Monday Night Football, the original Monday Night Football theme song
signature.
was very good. That was very good.
The opening to golf on CBS is nice.
What is that now?
I can't hum it for you, but...
Best scene we've ever had on College Game Day.
Think you like this one?
Yes, this is very good. Yeah, that's very good. Creative, and I thought it was going to be another SEC song because it sounded like it was going SEC direction there at the beginning.
I didn't hear any Columbia or Mizzou mentioned.
No.
Doug, I lost interest in Laney Wilson after she got rid of that dump truck. Thanks. Who's your daddy? Did she get rid of it?
I don't know.
How do you get rid of it?
It's toned down, no doubt.
Is that right, really?
Yeah.
It's smaller, but I don't... No, she
what?
got rid of it.
I saw her a few times without the cowboy hat lately, and I didn't even recognize her.
How does it get smaller?
Well,
Get
she
in
had-
shape.
She had a bigger butt on...
Lose weight.
Bigger butt on Yellowstone, I thought.
She looks like a different human being on Yellowstone, don't you think?
Yeah.
I mean, both weight and whatever procedures.
It's fair. I just don't. I guess losing weight, but it wasn't like she was
I
heavy.
think she talked about losing like 75 pounds.
Yeah, but that was years ago, right? Because she doesn't look heavy at all. She just has a nice plump behind.
It's been lost.
She was caked up when we saw her at the Luke Combs concert.
Caked up.
Yeah, you like that caked up?
What does that mean?
She lost 70 pounds.
Yeah. She still got her butt.
Doug, does she still have her butt?
I don't know.
That's what caked up is, isn't it?
Yeah.
She probably tried to lose some of it. Nobody
She's
wants to be
attractive. That's
fat.
all that matters. Great singer, too.
Yeah, she went from kind of an unknown to one of the very biggest stars in country music in just a span of a couple of years.
Well, I would like to apologize. It was being speculated that she lost 70 pounds, and she said, hell no, I've lost weight. I've lost about 20 pounds. Okay. I was about to say 70 pounds.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I don't think she was like 250 pounds or 200 pounds on Ozark or
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone.
What part did she play in Yellowstone?
She was hooking up with one of the bunk hands.
Oh, one of the bunk hands.
What's a bunk hand?
She was playing what me and Plowsy said got old with Yellowstone. Like every episode, there was some different country festival going on.
Oh.
I love me some Laney Wilson, but I believe she has Ozempic ass. Doug, what's Ozempic?
Oh.
That's from the X and Espresso. What's
Probably lost a lot of weight everywhere but the butt.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There's a lot of people losing a lot of weight on Ozempic.
The SEC has 16 teams. The Big Ten has 18. I'm just fact-checking you. That's from hashtag Buckeye Girl.
Thank you. I needed it.
Is she the one that did the gangbang in, like, Cincinnati?
Don't know.
No, I think that was the unicorn.
Man, we have so many female listeners in Ohio. I wonder why that is.
Buckeye Girl called in because I think you were offering like $50 to any woman to call in.
No,
So
nice.
her boyfriend-
Another use of good dollars.
Yeah, her two text ago says Buckeye Girl Venmo, not the gangbang one.
Oh, there you go. Jeez. My confusion continues. Laney Wilson looks like she got that on Ozempic train. Having said that, I'll never forget a couple years ago when she appeared at the Family Arena with that nice dumper. made me almost forget I was surrounded by a bunch of fake cowboys with a Yellowstone hat on, even though the only ranch they're familiar with is Hidden Valley or Gas Station Pizza. That's from Carlos Spicy Wiener.
I saw her at Busch Stadium when she was here with Luke Combs. She was great.
I made a fool of myself, about a year ago or so. We were talking about...
Well, no, what was that?
Turn that damn thing off.
Okay.
I just finished watching Yellowstone, and I said, God, there are some great performers on that show. I said, this girl, I didn't even know her name was Lainey Wilson. I said, she is fabulous. I said, we should get a hold of, talk to Jesse and WIL to do a, performers of Yellowstone night. And she goes, well, 6 of them already been here. Lainey Wilson just played her. So they were bigger before I even knew it.
So you feel like you made a fool of yourself?
Yeah, because I thought they were all newcomers and they all had already been playing.
Yeah. Well.
But, Tiki, are you coming back to football because you miss it, or are you coming back to football because you just had a big failure in broadcasting?
How about that?
Who's a failure?
Tiki, I guess.
I guess Tiki.
Lousy question to start an interview with.
Wow, how about this? Do you see this text from Ken's wedding toast, Chairman?
No.
Chairman Kurt is definitely the biggest degenerate on the show now. Creepy vibes way more than Iggy. That's from Ken's wedding toast.
Really?
I'll take it.
Where does that come from?
Yeah, I don't know.
Your interview with the Orson Woods Wacko's daughter?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really said a whole lot today. That might be it.
Okay.
It don't take much.
Doesn't take much.
Like I said, it don't take much.
See?
Okay.
Guys, Sunday Night Football's intro is fun with Carrie Underwood's Brio lips and Lou Ferrigno thighs. That's from Don Hoffman. That's Jackson's guy, Donnie Hoffman.
Lou Ferrigno.
Oh, she's got great legs.
Top tier story, Ken, Tervis Parrish. I'd tongue punch Laney's Dirt Star like I tongue punched Doug's. That's from the Anal Farmer.
Didn't need it. Did not need that at all.
Guys, she's a buckle bunny on Yellowstone. That's Sharon and Clayton.
What the hell does that mean?
Yeah, I think that's what they called her.
Doug Buckle Bunny.
I don't know what that
You gotta
means.
watch this show.
Yellowstone?
I haven't seen it either.
I find it entertaining. I would describe it as, it's not great.
Okay.
But entertains.
I like that. I like that. I
feel like we were talking about another show like that.
Ballers.
Ballers. Yeah, it's better than Ballers
Okay.
all day long.
Yeah. Any show where Rob Cordray is the second lead, I'm out.
Ballers was rough, but I watched it. I think if it were an hour, I would have never watched it. I think of the fact that it was like 24 minutes.
And if it wasn't John David Washington,
Yellowstone entertains me.
Yeah.
And I enjoy it. And I'll watch it when it comes back, whenever
Yeah, that's what I'm a little concerned about starting is I know that the ending is going to be kind of tumultuous because Costner won't be involved. So I feel like I'm starting something that I know is going to... But I did that with Game of Thrones, too. So
Was that Netflix or HBO or where?
it's on Peacock right now because I just got Peacock, so I've been scrolling around through there and they have it.
It's going to be hard because the ending of last season wasn't everybody getting killed and Costner was still the governor, wasn't he?
Well, I guess I won't be watching it now.
Yeah.
I thought you watched it.
I just said I haven't watched
spoiler
it.
season around here.
I just said I haven't watched it.
Well, you don't know who got killed.
No.
It's just a bunch of shooting.
Everybody got it.
Everybody. They were shooting. You don't know who got it, but...
You just tune in now and there's tumbleweed blowing across the ranch.
That's all that's left. Costner was the only one left, and he's gone, so...
But I thought he wasn't in it because he wanted to,
He's not going to be in
dream.
it, but he was in the last season, the ending. So I don't know how they're going to fix that.
Good Lord, you don't know what a buckle bunny is? Rodeo groupie geniuses. Girls that dig cowboys. That's Sharon and Clayton.
Okay, sorry, Sharon. Don't scream at us.
And you're in Clayton. What would you know what a buckle bunny is?
Sharon, call in Collier and Thompson phone line 636-900-4TMA or email in to try to compete with Buck Swope the morning after at InsideSTL.com. I will not stand for baller slander. That's from Marty Monogamy.
Oh, it's bad Entourage, and Entourage even had a lot of low points. It's The Rock's trying to act. If it wasn't for John David Washington, it would be totally unsalvageable.
I mean, I'm like Tim. I watched it, but it was just awful.
On Ballers, what was the Buckle Bunny situation?
There wasn't many Buckle Bunnies.
A lot of Jersey chasers.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Same thing, though, just with a different group of people.
A lot of Rob Cordray.
God, guys, Yellowstone is a soap opera for people who live west of 270. That's from Waffle Fries. Now we're shaming living west of 270.
And watching
Where is the safe space to live in St. Louis?
There's none. You can always find something. That's what I said. I said I can't give a take on this damn show because I went to Ladue High School.
Maybe we should move to Columbia, Illinois.
Oh, you get it
Seem
there
to be
too.
safe over in Illinois.
Oh, you get it there.
Yeah.
I think maybe Webster might be the one safe play, but then there's the Cottleville people who are going to be against
Oh,
you.
yeah, they're very much against Webster.
Imperial's kind of untouchable.
Well, little hoosh.
Sushi capital.
Isn't Cottonville? Cottonville?
Cottle.
Isn't Cottleville closer to Chesterfield than Webster?
Probably so, but barely.
Sharon says, I may be presently in Clayton, but I got St. Charles in my roots. And then she has a little winking, smiling emoji, she said.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
It's refreshing to see rich white women.
Always is.
Oh, what a line. Send your emails in for the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today. It comes your way in 10 minutes. Balloon Party comes your way in about 20 minutes on 101 ESPN. But first, Doug, we're celebrating a magical week of broadcasting with our drops of the week.
Okay.
Morning after. Drops of the week.
Yeah, you gotta drop it like a hot dog.
It's a wonderful
Hot dog.
drop.
Indeed it is.
Clip that off. Clip that off.
Clip that off.
On the subject of seed
on cheeks.
Just loaded up the jockstrap with it.
When you're all lit up and you're grinding on some, muffin top.
Hey, I'll send you a picture of my boobs.
I don't know where at any point in this conversation it felt like I was saying that my generation invented anal sex.
Every time I look at the table, we fall a little farther behind. Come on, doggies, let's go.
No, I can do it with a guy watching it.
The nut comes from you?
Oh, you're so massive.
There are a lot of steps pre-surgery to give you the anal rejuvenation that you see.
See, I have a huge problem going on here.
Here comes the liberal.
Please continue on the anal masturbating.
A W2 is like an afterthought.
Men of all ages have an anus.
You ever lick your own balls?
Boy, you guys loved playing with each other's crotches back then.
The inflammation around the joints is hot.
Level 4 will be...
Goochland?
That's a vein, brother.
There's not a lot of homeless people that get a lot of tail.
You ever had a dilly bar?
Tim's at another level.
I would think if you're talking about the possibility of lesbianism, it would come with a game that's a blowout. And people are saying, I'm bored with the game. Maybe now is the time to experiment.
Do they do it naked?
Yeah.
Sure could use a hit from Burleson. Hey, let's jump in the sack.
Yeah, Doug, I'm in the content game.
Anal and golf, huh?
This is goofy.
Oh, what is that coming out of my butt?
That was Drops of the Week.
God. How did that ever come up? I don't remember that.
I don't remember either.
Iggy was wondering who was the first person to take a dump.
That's right.
I'm gonna block that one out.
Very good answer.
I sent that clip over to Barrett. I'm hoping to get us on the mid-market list.
Yeah, that should do it. The HT2 mid-market.
I should have sent it to Marconi.
You got to feel, I know you're down on the show at times, but when you hear that, you got to be like, okay, we're doing good work.
It's a pick-me-up for sure. Because sometimes I think we don't say anything very intelligent.
Whoa.
And then I hear that and I go, no, this is for thinkers.
Right.
This is a think tank as much as anything.
You know, you were talking about Webster Groves earlier.
Yeah.
Iced tea.
Somebody sent me a picture. I don't know the name. It's right next to Olive and Oak. It's a bagel place.
Bagel Union.
Yeah, Bagel Union. It's got a bagel, the Iggy bagel. Do you know that?
I did not. Who's it named after?
I don't know. I doubt me.
Azalea?
But his name.
Oh, yeah.
The Iggy
Fancy.
Iggy
2014, 2012. I'll say
I don't know the
2013 to get me
years,
both.
Tim.
God, 2011's live, though. And that was Charlie XCX really before she blew up.
Mm-hmm. So, Iggy, why don't you go there and ask for an Iggy bagel and say, what does the name mean?
Yeah.
What's up
and
with
you
that?
can find out.
Where'd you get? Maybe I'll just call him instead of going all the way there. Not really big into bagels. I'm just curious.
Because you think there's a chance it's named after you.
No, I don't. I'm just curious, is one of the owners named Iggy, or is it short for something?
Andre Iguodala.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Remix. And she trained with T.I.? Did she train with T.I.?
I don't know.
I've listened to her freestyle. She didn't train with anybody.
Oh.
And she says she's in the murder business.
Yeah, she is.
And everyone's just okay with that.
She is. Yep.
That's wonderful lyrics.
She's doing an expansion, I think. She's going to scale that business.
Okay.
She has a child with Playboy Cardi. Doug, I think if you heard one Playboy Cardi song, your skin might fall off your body.
Because it's so bad?
It's just not for you.
Yeah. It shouldn't be for anyone. It's horrendous.
Well, now you're telling people how to enjoy their time. And
I am.
I'm not.
I'm in the murder business.
Is that Iggy Azalea?
This is.
I saw her with Pitbull. I enjoyed her.
All right.
I enjoyed her. She just went rapid fire, one after another. She did no talking, just one song after another, and she was off.
Yeah. Okay.
Showed a lot of butt in that show.
Maybe the bagel's named after her.
Could be.
So, yeah, the murder business.
Yeah, it's great. It's wonderful.
Good news. We have the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today coming your way here in a matter of moments. And 100 West Dental is given $1,000 off Invisalign if you mention my name. Just go to 100westdental.com. That's 100westdental.com. If you've been on the fence about Invisalign, they have a digital scanner that can show you a simulation of what it'll look like before you even go through with it. It's 100 West Dental. Right across from Mungan St. Louis Acura, built brand new offices with the most modern technology with the patient experience at the front of the mind. No dental insurance? That's not a problem with Dr. Brandon Pryor. The membership plan aids in the costs of dental work for those who do not have dental insurance. 100westdental.com or call 636-585-0100. That's 100westdental.com. And
think about it.
That's actually what I was about to say. It's amazing. That's what I was about to say. Iggy Azalea is awful. Thanks, Neil and Craig Buckett, former fan page moderator.
Yeah, she hasn't done much.
I enjoyed her
in the recent years. She doesn't make music all that much.
She's got an OnlyFans.
That tracks. She was with Swaggy P.
Remember Swaggy P, Doug?
God. Nick Young.
Famous GIF.
Yeah.
She's Australian, right?
Correct.
Aye.
So she was with Nick Young, a.k.a. Swaggy P.
Swaggy P.
Until
Cool.
D'Angelo
That's
Russell.
so cool.
Until D'Angelo Russell took a video of Nick Young talking about possible infidelity. That got him in trouble. Then D-Lo was kind of persona non grata. And then she was with Playboy Cardi, had a kid. I don't think she's made music in a while, though.
You guys know what her niche is on OnlyFans?
No.
Squashing.
She sends X-rated voice messages to subscribers in which she humiliates them over the size of their manhood.
I'm telling you, Doug, it's an industry. Maybe we should do that.
Classy.
Men pay me to tell them that they're a piece of S, she boasted.
She's boasting.
That's kind of what we do in a weird way. We're just on the receiving end of it from people. Let's see. Somebody just sent in a picture of the Iggy, and it says it looks like it's covered in demon seed. I thought you said it was a... Is this it, Iggy?
I don't know. I just saw the menu and it said the Iggy. And it was
but now it looks like bread that somebody had dropped love on.
No, this was a bagel with lox, cream cheese, and some scallions.
That looks tasty. It's got cream cheese. That's not demon seed. Is this the first time seeing what cream cheese
That's
looks like?
Get clipped off.
Clip that off.
It's got to be clipped off.
It's cream cheese.
Yeah, that's all it was cream cheese, lox, I think some scallions. I didn't see a picture of it. I saw the menu.
I'm looking at a picture. It looks great.
I love lox and bagels. I'm not a big bagel guy, but I do like lox and cream cheese and bagels.
Do you?
I'm more of an English muffin guy.
Oh,
nice.
All right.
Thomas's English Muffins. Doug, it's the 5P Academy and Hustle and Heart Sports Performance 9 o'clock hour. We'll have the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today coming up in a matter of moments. And we have a 3-day weekend that I would imagine the vast majority of the audience is going to get to enjoy. And enjoy it with a TMA Banty Brew. That is a 16-ounce canned wheat ale with orange and coriander, a cross between an American wheat and a Belgian wit. This refreshing ale is made with white wheat, ground coriander, and fresh whole oranges. Head to any Salt and Smoke location to try it. The TMA Banty Brew. Head to tmastl.com to see the can and find a participating location to try it for yourself. It's the TMA Banty Brew. Oh, hey, it's Tom Schmidt, Salt and Smoke. Think about that.
I am right now.
It's a nice little combo. Get a little brisket, a little bit.
Yeah, that sounds
fancy
good to me.
grill.
I might have to do that this
Long
weekend.
A little pulled chicken.
Kind of fun to have our own beverage.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
We look like 4 hot guys.
I saw some listener post a picture of having it on the day we announced it, and he called it liquid sex.
Oh, is that what he called it?
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Okay.
Yeah, we're liquid sex. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day.
Okay.
If Kevin Miller doesn't win and if the JV golf coach doesn't win, Buck Swope wins the emailer of the month. Huge moment here. I think Tim is a darn good case of identity theft going against Bret the Hitman Hart, because today he showed he's the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. And the best part, his humility. He's never bragged about this, but here's a true story. Best day of my life, May 12th, 2017, Normandy Golf Course. The erectionally sponsored 18th tee box. Deke Dotem whispers to me and Matt, who bowls at Hanks, if Tim birdies this hole, he's going to shoot a 54. Guess what? He did birdie that hole. So I've seen some amazing things, and that's why I'm not nervous about email of the day today. Swope's a pimp. He could never have out-emailed the full-time Carlos Spicy Wiener. But I didn't know until this day that Doug's schlong is so long. I decided to hand-deliver my email today's submission, walked past a sky orange-clad chapstick lesbian smoking outside, and entered the elevator. And then I heard him. Hey, sailor, new in town. Next thing I know, he stops us between floors. His khakis are draped around his ankles, and he is just going to town, giving himself the 5-knuckle shuffle. Then, without any warning, my face is smashed against the door, and he entered me with the Bavarian mudslide with his massive weapon of ass destruction.
All right.
It's from A, then there's a middle name of Nell, and then the last name is Prober.
A. Nell Probert.
Oh, there's a picture
He's
of
new.
me and Matt, who bowls at Hanks, and I think A.N.L. Prober, and Deke Dotem at Normandy.
And you shot a 54?
And I shot a 54.
That's way best course record.
Yep, career best. Sup, Missouri? Good football team, huh? I hear good things. Cardinals will tra-la-la. Fam, thanks for stopping by. Warson Woods Wacko's daughter, ear-pierced lines. Doug, all the sex, please. KG, hugs. Jackson, wedding bells. Iggy, love you. Mr. Tim, a hero for all. Me, horny. Slip it, tip it, and flock it. Flocky the Smurf.
Yes, Flocky the Smurf.
And he says, stop the vote for Swope in 24. Is he anti-Swope? I don't know. Just read what's in the prompt. Labor Day weekend, 2004, Lake of the Ozarks. Despite the unholy scent permeating from the stinky lake water, the Gravois Arm and the Glazed Bridge were packed with shirtless rednecks hoping to score some strange. I went from a boy to a man that weekend as Bradley showed me a move he affectionately called Browning the Beef. Diabetic Hoosiers were grinding on each other everywhere you looked, and the fun only stopped when people needed to test their blood sugar levels or inject their hourly insulin shots. Every so often, 2 Fenton chubbies would get their insulin pumps caught on each other's hips, and the Water Rescue Patrol had to employ the jaws of life to separate the two behemoths. Ah, the memories. Everybody was in a great mood that year because the Redbirds were about to clinch the division on their way to winning the pennant. What a time to be alive. Remember when the Local 9 actually put out a decent product and more than 11,000 people bothered to show up at the stadium? I remember, damn it. Now we're stuck in a decade-long cycle of mediocrity, rewarding the manager with an extension despite a last-place finish. I don't even bother to use my parents' Bailey's login to watch this crap anymore because I simply don't care. At least I'll always have the memory of being penetrated in a dirty lake to ease the pain. Meet me at mile marker 3 this weekend, and I'll show you how I got the nickname Salami Swinger. It's the JV golf coach.
Oh, gosh. JV golf coach.
And finally, this is why you clock in early. Yeah. This is why you leave late. This is why you do that extra set. This is what it's all about. To compete for emailer of the month against a 50-something realtor who each day pens gay erotica involving his buddy Butchie in a random long-shuttered local establishment while identifying himself with a dirty pun like Dixie Wrecked or Harry Azrack. Azcrack. Sadie Hawkins, Doug, the Cardinals won in front of less than 11,000 at yesterday's Infidelity Festival to boost their postseason odds to 2.1%. Unlike those early season losses, Tommy Pham will not be helping the Cardinals in September as he was placed on waivers. Jackson is moving because he doesn't want anyone to know he's hooking up with a furry. Mizzou blew out their cream puff FCS opponent 51-0. But I think the lead is this cringy voicemail message left by an out-of-breath fat on Gabe's post-game show. In other news, a 20-year-old sorority girl being pimped out by her dad for show content thinks Iggy sounds like a moron. She must have been fed that answer because there's no way she's listened to enough of the show to make that determination, unless, of course, she listened to Wednesday's discussion where everyone attempted to count all the holes within the human body, culminating with Iggy's declaration that the urethra is part of the butt. You want to talk about Columbia, Illinois? No? Well, I'm going to hijack this conversation anyway to creepily reminisce about this smoke show waitress named Shannon, who worked at Top Shooters 2 decades ago. No, I didn't show her the picture of myself in a Speedo from 35 years ago. That would have been creepy. She's like 40 years younger than me. Never mind that 6 weeks ago during this very presentation, I showed that same Speedo pic to a female guest who is literally 42 years younger than me. Squirting isn't pee, nipples aren't holes, fight me. That's from Buck Swope.
Oh, my. Buck Swope with a nice little email this morning.
And that's what we have for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today.
Well, Buck put in quite an effort today, and I just have to vote for him. I'm voting for Buck Swope. I thought he had the best email by a considerable margin.
You know, I was going to in honor of my friend Gary Geis, who texted me yesterday and said JV golf coach got screwed. I was going to vote for him, but I got to be honest. I mean, you got to go with what's best, and congratulations to Buck Swope.
There it is. Buck Swope has just won the month of August in the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. Mm-hmm. Unbelievable.
Nice W for him.
This might be Buck Swope's time. We might be in Buck Swope's time.
He's at his prime.
Yeah.
He peacocks around with a green sport coat and a camera all the time. That's his look. And he's also a heck of a rider.
And don't forget the white frame sunglasses.
Yeah.
Ghastly.
He's a slave to fashion.
Ghastly.
What's ghastly?
The outfit.
What's so ghastly about the outfit?
Green jacket, white framed sunglasses? Come on.
I haven't always seen the white frame sunglasses. He doesn't always wear those.
He usually does.
But the sport coat, snazzy.
Yeah, look, somebody called me from Springfield. Maybe they want me on their show
Ooh,
today.
Ned. Could be Ned.
Maybe Ned.
Offers just keep pouring in.
Get it on. I want to talk about this Cardinal Club.
Doug, we're going to talk about this Cardinal Club, this Missouri club, and whatever Jackson has up his sleeve on the Little Piddles Friday 6-shooter coming up in a matter of moments on 101 ESPN with Balloon Party. 3-day weekend!
Oh, yeah. Can't wait.
We'll be back on Tuesday, and we'll be getting you ready for the Buffalo Bulls. And the Cardinals will be on a 6-game winning streak, I think, at that time?
I would imagine so. Yeah, we're going to get right back in
this. Threshold?
Cardinals are coming.
Tra-la, tra-la, ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba.
If they won 10 in a row, instead of being 6 out of the wild card, they might be 3 or 4 out of the wild card.
Vaughn Index?
You'd probably have to win 10 in a row to get to within 2 or 3 games of the wild card. Because you got, 5 teams ahead of you?
Yeah, that's the issue. And then you lose, and then one of those all it takes is one of those teams winning, and then you fall another game back behind them. So I follow you. I like your math. All right, we'll shut it down. Have a wonderful 3-day weekend, boys. Yep. Time for us to shut it down to close out our 9 o'clock hour, which, of course, is presented to you by 5P Academy and Hustle and Heart Sports Performance. For Jackson Bennett Burkett, Chairman Kurt, Kenneth Iggy Strode, my brother Kevin, Douglas Elvin Vaughn, I'm Timothy Michael McKernan. This has been TMA, presented to you by Brown and Crouppen.
Man, TMA likes to talk about golf.
The guy had barely put the flag back in, and I hit my wedge.
Incessant golf chatter.
And, of course, the green is protected by bunkers.
Golf